Let's dive into all of this right now. Hey, look, he's already got his coffee, baby. Come on. This is I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington. And guess what? I'll be serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk, along with this fine panel that's in here today. And they're going to be serving it up along with me. We have a couple of others that are going to be joining just in a little bit. But look, I'm kind of fired up tonight for a couple of reasons. I have a couple things that I want to get off my chest and I want to give my take on. I also am just so excited because we're so darn close to December 31st. Probably even more importantly, we're so close to December 29th. Come on, baby. You all know what that means to me. But look, let's go ahead and I want to say hi to everybody who's in here already. But let me go to this panel first who's in here. Fabio, long time no see. We were just on Dante's last night, baby.
I know. Thank you for having me as usual. I haven't been here in a few weeks. Missed being here. I'm back.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to have you, my friend. Look, I got to tell you something, Fabio. They said something yesterday, and it really rang true to me. You got to consider it. This whole thing about Fabio Land. Because, look, I really freaking feel like when we go through your collection, dude, we're in Fabio Land. Look, you got to, you should change your name to Fabio Land. Sell tickets?
I'll think about it.
Listen, if you sold a damn ticket to see your collection, I would buy it and go in for it.
You know what's funny? Every time somebody does come to my house and I show them, they're like, "This is like a museum. You should charge to have people come in here." That's everybody, literally everybody.
You know what's funny about that? And the guy's name, I don't know if it's Sam. It's not Sam Sweet, but he's one of them. And his name is going to come to me hopefully for the end of the show. And I watch all his videos, as always on my agenda. In the vintage Star Wars world, dude, there's people that have these freaking museums. And you go in and you take a tour, and it takes you all fucking day to go through this shit.
That's awesome.
I'm telling you, I think you got something there.
This basement where I'm at right now is 800 square feet. This is like literally a quick tour. I mean, you'll be stuck in an area for a while staring at figures, but you'll be done in like 5 minutes.
Well, listen, look, there's a lot of people who display one figure or two figures per DTOF shelf. Listen, if you fucking did that, I think you would need maybe 5,600 square feet, baby.
I would need 3 houses.
I think it can be done. Welcome to everybody who's in the chat. I'm going to flash some of these on before we get to Dante. Look at this. It's Popsic. Are you on table 5, or did you switch your table? Because I got it brewing, baby. I got it brewing for you. What's your flavor? I've got the regular and decaf. I've got special off-world Jawa egg juice. And I've got the freaking wizard juice. I know you want other stuff. It'll come up, baby. But what did Popsic say? Is it possible Rise of Skywalker Rey is on the top 10 list? And I say yes. Listen, Popsic, Rise of Skywalker Rey was on my top 10 list of figures that are a lock for next year before the end of 2022. That was actually on the Aries Tarrington show that was aired this week when it was me and Brother Cousins. And he actually agreed on that one. So it's on my top 10 list. But listen, Popsic, this top 10 list today, I'm going to put this on here. It's actually top 10 Hot Toys coffee spillers that happened so far in 2021. Listen, I'm going to blow your mind. Now, it could be coffee spillers in a good way, coffee spillers in a what the F way? Not so good. Just moments that were like, what the? Are you kidding me? Always good to have Popsick in the house. Look who's here. The Maestro with that great freaking quarter scale statue. Wait, that's a figure behind you.
I know, right? How you doing, everyone? Aries, Fabio, guys watching in your house and around the world. We are here. Another Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 6:14 p.m. Eastern. And man, I'm so excited, man. Like it's always a pleasure being in your show, talking about hot toys, making fun of Fabio. I'm sorry, talking to Fabio. And I think Fabio should say, "My name is Fabio. I'm a hoarder." He has like a. If you guys see the amount of boxes this guy has, if you're wondering what the hell is Ahsoka, I know what she is. I know where she is. Not only Ahsoka, Pennywise, freaking Darth Maul. He has them all.
They're right
Look
here.
at that. Look at that. What the hell, man? This is like.
Ahsoka, they're all right there. That pile, the high pile, is Ahsoka.
And I'm here eating. I'm here for lunch. I got water and crackers, and this guy has like a 50,000 boxes over there.
50,000.
Listen, it should be Fabio Land. How many
Fabio
of you
Land.
guys in the chat would buy tickets to Fabio Land? Let me know. I want you to put it in the chat now. We already got 42 in here early on Saturday. Let me know if you'd buy tickets. Let's say hi, everybody, to Clink Clink. Hello, hello. Table 12 for me. Pouring you some, baby. Let's go. UK Sith, formerly Darth Sidious. Hola, let's spill some coffee together. Right with you, baby. Welcome to the Market Show Live. Diablo Fett, 1 for table 66. You want the off-world Jawa egg juice or you want coffee, baby? Come on. And welcome to everybody. You know, if I ever miss you in here, I don't mean to. I'm just, a very young guy who's just not very technically, sound. Anyway, put this up on the screen. Van City Collectibles Gaming. Aries, where is the Spotchka? Look, are you kidding me? Where is the Spotchka? Deluxe. Right here. I know you wanted me to show it. I felt like I was having a lot of Spotchka on your show last night, Dante. It's a little bit, it was really crazy. I love that. Tell me what that was again, Dear Howard?
Dear Howard Chan. Dear Howard Chan.
Dear Howard Chan.
No, and you know what? The funny thing is, like, that was impromptu kind of thing, and it was fun. I had so many messages. You guys loved it. So this is something that probably we're gonna be doing every Friday. So it was actually pretty fun, you know. But yeah, man, like, where's Ahsoka? Where's Pennywise? Where's Darth Maul? Where's Cable? You know, where's so many good figures, man, that we're waiting. Where's Windu? Where's C-3PO? Come on, man. Like, this guy's playing with our feelings, man. That's not nice. That's not nice.
He's pulling on our heartstrings.
Yeah, seriously.
He is, and he's got to, he's got to get together. I wonder if he's actually gotten together with the Hot Toys Wizard. Is it possible that we're actually going to hear from the Hot Toys Wizard today? He, interrupted us a couple of times on my show. You have to wonder. Ping Ping Pong Pong says, could you pour some coffee at table 66 and look at my custom clone trooper commander Thorn on eBay and tell me what you think? Just type in Hot Toys Commander Thorn. Thank you. Listen, Ping Ping Pong Pong, I'm going to make that part of something that I am going to do later. Good luck on selling that baby. What's it at right now? Tell me. Do you have any bids on it? Look, welcome to everybody who's in here. The numbers keep climbing. We're already at 46. This is the Market Show Live. I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington. We've got Fabio from Fabsfigs. Been trying to convince him to call it Fabio Land in the house. We have got Dante, the Man of Hot Collectibles, in the house. We got a special treat towards the end of the show to kind of segue you guys into some other stuff that has to do with Dante. But very, very excited here for sure. And guys, we were talking backstage. Let's get into, with everybody in here. Devin's in here. If I miss you, Sam Short, Ramstein fan 79, Deadly Arc, you're all in here. Come on. I'm going to pull up the first topic for today because I want to go into Aries' forecast for the Star Wars Hot Toys store. And guys, you have to wonder, is it possible that Aries thinks that there is a storm? And I say yes. However, I just have a different forecast on how this storm is going. Because you have to remember that when there is a storm, everybody prepares for it. Not just consumers, but manufacturers. Not just customers, but businesses. And you have to take a lot of the stuff into account. And then you also have to take into account some of the trends that are going on within the marketplace and try and piece it together to what is going to happen in the future. And one of the things that I want to bring up on the screen, and Dante, we'll go to you first as I set the table here, and I'm going to share this, and I think it will share the right screen. Let me hope that it does on here. Bear with me because I got a new screen. Yes. And when you look up on here, and I hear some thoughts in the community, Dante, that because there's so many figures in stock, which I don't think that are that many, that they have been around as long as the Jet Troopers are for a very long time. And I was going back today, looking at my old videos, looking down on my spreadsheets, seeing when things were still listed as pre-order, like you see here with this Clo Trooper Jesse, like you see with Captain Rex, which Captain Rex is still on pre-order. And really, these Shore Troopers, Death Watch Mandalorian, Lando, Armor, Coruscant Guard, I'm going to go through a lot of these. They very, very recently just got in stock. Some of these figures only in stock for 2 or 3 weeks, and the longest ones maybe 6 weeks, a month and a half. And really, when you go back to the beginning of the year, last year, the norm for a lot of these figures, Dante, whether it's the Remnant Trooper, Commander Cody 3.5 months, Remnant Trooper 3.5, 4 months, Incinerator Trooper, Death Trooper, I can go on and on and on. That's usually what you're looking at, unless it's an anomaly, like the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. But I'm going to give you first stab at this. Is there a problem because of the store where these aren't selling, or is it more of the fact they just got in stock?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we need to. What the hell is that? So this is a train. So there's two things, right? The only way that you can measure storm is if you have something that has been stuck for a while. For a while, meaning 2, 3, 4, 5 months, and still there. It's not selling, right? In this case, most of the stuff just was released, so it's really not. There's not too much time. There's not enough time for us to measure whether that's going to be something that is going to be remaining in stock or things along those lines. To me personally, pretty much all the figures like Mandalorian, the Death Watch, the Shore Troopers, Lando, the Scout Troopers, all of them are fairly new releases. So we need to give it some time for those figures to actually sell out, right? Now that doesn't mean that those figures are gonna be selling out faster, right? It all depends on the quantity, how many people pre-ordered this, how many people decided to go and buy overseas just because they wanted to get it first. All that takes into account, right? Yes, this Sideshow is the main retailer. Sideshow is kind of like our go-to in terms of what's in stock, what's gonna be sold out soon, all those things. But to be honest with you, if you go and watch the overseas market, resellers tend to buy a lot of those figures. And then when it is announced or released day one, they sell it for a higher price. And then once that wave is done, they start like pretty much abusing the prices, like making it so cheap that people's gonna go buy those just so they can,
Exactly.
clean their stock. So that's the main reason why we've seen these stores, Sideshow, still stuff with stock, right? You can get Lando for like $199, $195, man. Super cheap overseas. That's the truth. It's unfortunate. I mean, I don't think it is unfortunate because we are still benefiting, right? Because you're gonna pay cheaper prices. But if you're selling stuff, if you're like a retailer like Sideshow, they're they are pretty much pissed because they're not making any money.
Yeah,
Well,
but you
well,
have
hold
to.
that. Oh, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead,
I was
Fabio.
just gonna say, you know, if you want to save money ordering overseas, it's fine. The problem is, it's very tricky with that because if something comes damaged with the figure, what are you gonna do? So that's the tricky part about ordering overseas, which is why I never do. Um, Everything I order, pretty much, Hot Toys wise, is always Sideshow. Um, because of that, because I know that if I could go back, if something's broken, God forbid, I could go back and get a replacement or get a different part or whatever it is, a whole new figure. They usually do. A lot of times, they'll send you a new figure, tell you don't even bother sending the other one back. You know what I mean? So I feel like that should help Sideshow big time. But I don't think collectors care much about the customer service as much as they care about saving money.
Yeah, it's a
Right,
good point.
right.
Uh,
It's one small point, Aries. So yes, that's true, right? I don't know what's the percentage of stuff that you get overseas and is broken or damaged versus when you buy locally. Like for example, I buy overseas because I do reviews, right? That's, you guys know that. So I'm gonna be very honest with you. I think unless I break it, because I tend to break things. Unless I break it, then
That's
I'm screwed, right?
that's weird because you never broke my figures.
I know, I never do. But the thing is that, like, I don't know what's the percentage of people buying overseas and getting stuff really damaged that they have to return it back and go through the hassle of getting that replaced, right? I don't know that. But personal experience, I haven't got issues so far, knock on wood. So yeah, that's what I want to say.
well,
But
I'm
there's a
going to get.
chance.
No,
No,
go
I was
ahead,
gonna say
Fabio.
no. I was gonna say there's a huge chance that it could happen though. You know what I mean? And it has to be happening. It just you're not gonna hear about it. But mistakes happen. These figures come damaged sometimes. Whether it's paint chips, paint rubs, whatever it is, something's ripping, something's detached. It happens. It's just these are handmade, so there's a very high chance that something's gonna go wrong,
Right.
and
I
it
think the main
sucks.
issue, right? I think the main issue for figures being defective was, the Grogu, the one quarter scale that everyone was, no, one quarter scale, life size, sorry,
The life size
life
one,
size
yeah.
Grogu, right, with the extra mouth. That was one of the issues. And
Extra
then
mouth.
then Midas, the Iron Man Midas, everyone was, even locally, even like Sideshow selling those figures to people, they were having issues with the paint. I guess the way it was packed, it was rubbing rubbing the paint, so it was kind of like, you can see some discoloration in the actual figure. So yes, those are known issues, right? But there's really not too many. And again, maybe whoever you buy them from overseas, they have a really good return policy, and it works for you, so you're insured, you're secure. Something happens, you can just go back. Most of the time they do offer something, right? Just to be realistic, they do offer something. It's not like they can say, oh, it's your problem, go figure it out, right? Some of the, yes, do that, but most of the well-known, resellers, they tend to give you some type of exchange program or some type of insurance, right?
Well, we're gonna revisit the whole when you guys are starting talking about this, the whole hog cog prices thing in just a little bit. So we segue into that. I'm putting up a comment here. Kevin Collectibles, great supporter. Six Scale Cantina. I'm surprised that Lando is not on waitlist. I'm gonna unsurprise you, baby. And I'm putting this up on here, Clone Trooper. I'm surprised the armor is not on waitlist. I'm going to unsurprise you too, because there's a misconception going on that I think is not accurate. But Fabio, I'm going to go to you with this since I opened up with Dante. And I'm going to pull these up onto the screen because this is part of the misconception. And remember, I'm going to preface this, Kevin Collectibles and Clone Trooper. When you're talking about the Mud Trooper, and you're talking about the heavy infantry Mandalorian, those are few and far between when that happens. Even when the dark side Ray went on waitlist, which I was predicting, I said it was going to happen in a few weeks, and it did. It happened in exactly 3 weeks, but we're going to get into that. But these are all going to last anywhere from 1 month to 4 months. But let me pull this up to you, Fabio. This particular figure right here, this just got in stock at Sideshow, listed off the pre-order and put in stock. So you really can't count this. To give it its 3.5 month run, you got to go into March. If you go back to any of my shows the last 2 months, what have I been saying? When March comes, in the end of March, everything's going to look different because they're all going to be out of stock. And what data am I using? The data from the Death Trooper from the Mandalorian, the Incinerator Trooper, any of those troopers, the Remnant Trooper. I can go on and on and on with so many of these. Let's go to another one. The same thing with this one right here. This got in stock. Go ahead while I'm flashing these up. Each one of these just got in stock.
What I was going to say was, you're going to have the collectors that are going to buy when a figure comes out. You know what I mean? Just because they're going to buy. But you also have the collectors that are kind of waiting longer now because of what Hot Toys has been doing with their releases and their announcements.
Sure, you could get this. You don't have to spend $400 for either one of these short troopers. I put them both on, which usually you got to wait how long, Fabio? 3 months before it gets in Sideshow. It's simultaneous now.
Right. So, but my thing is this: I feel like the reason why they're being held back and not selling so quickly, on top of what we just talked about with the overseas selling and all that stuff, I feel like people are kind of holding off because, for example, my example is Mandalorian. Right? How many Mandos have we gotten? So 1/6 Mandos so far are we getting? So far we've gotten 3 without, 3 including
the OG. You had the deluxe and non-deluxe Beskar, and then now you got this Chrome one.
Right. So now you have Chrome, and then you have the one with the head sculpt, right? You have, which is I think the same one. Isn't it the same one? I think it is the same one. Or is it not?
The chrome-plated Mandalorian, like the deluxe and non-deluxe.
Isn't that the best car? That's the best car.
No, that's the one that's out right now, which is actually selling really well.
Oh,
the one that's out, the one with the 2 Grogus, and the one that comes with 1.
Okay, yeah, no, I do have that one. So my thing is this: because of that, because you're getting now Mando, this one Mando's fine, but now you got the best car, then you have the new one, then you have the one with the head sculpt. I feel like people now are holding off and waiting. Look what happened with Venom. Same thing. We get a Venom, now we're getting a second Venom, now with the head included. So I think people are holding off and not just jumping the gun when something comes out because Hot Toys is making us do that. It's like they announce a figure. It's like, okay, cool. Like, I'm excited. But it's like, all right, now what are they going to release after this? Is it going to be, another same figure 2.0? So people, I feel like they're holding back now, not just jumping at everything because of that.
Yeah, so, they also don't have to jump at it, Fabio, at these prices. And I just pulled these 2 up at those crazy Hong Kong prices. And not that they're necessarily crazy. I mean, I think that they're warranted and justified. But now with Sideshow pushing, you don't have to necessarily wait as long as you used to, at least with some stuff that we've been seeing. But both of these figures just came out. You can't count these. You got to let them have their few month or 3 or 4 month run. Same thing with this figure. People are like, I can't believe that this figure's not on waitlist. Well, what do you mean? It just got in stock.
It just got in stock, and mine actually shipped. Mine shipped, I think, this week. Right? So I should get it next week. So I think Tuesday I'm getting this figure, and there's no reason for it to be sold out already or on a waitlist. It's way too soon.
Way too soon.
Unless
and this isn't the heavy infantry Mandalorian. More people were buying this way more than the heavy infantry Mandalorian.
Exactly. I was going to say a lot more people ordered this than the heavy Mando. So
yeah. And Dante, chime in on any of these 2 with Fabio as I bring it up. Here's another one. If this was going to blow your mind, this actually just got in stock. If you've been following it, it said pre-order for the longest time. And you got to take into consideration what was stuck at the ports. What was stuck at the ports in California, what they weren't able to get to. It wasn't in stock. They weren't able to bring it out. This just got in stock last month. So now give it its run. As this goes in, I'm going to go ahead and pull up more here. the Coruscant Guard. The Coruscant Guard didn't ship simultaneously with Sideshow at Hong Kong. This just was done the old way, and this just about 5 weeks ago just got in stock, and there's no reason to think that this figure is going to go any quicker than the Remnant Trooper, which was really hot. It's going to take 3.5 months. It'll be gone by February, March. There's nothing different here. There's no like storm that's creating this. Let me go to another one here. People keep talking about these 501sts. Well, one of them was in stock. Believe it or not, they make a lot of these troopers. And you got to give it Death Trooper status, 3.5, 4 months. These have only been out here just a little bit over 2 months, actually, with the in stock tag. Like I was saying, I really believe once February comes, I say February, but I was giving everybody March, these will be gone. Let me keep going over here a little bit, then I'll let you guys go.
I feel
Rex,
like these
keep on talking about Rex. Rex not even in stock. It's pre-order, Fabio.
Yeah, no, I was going to say the reason why these will sell out that much faster, specifically the 501st, is because people are army building. You know what I mean? So they're not just getting one;
Yes.
They're getting multiples. I myself got 4. You know, so these are going to sell. You know, I feel like that much faster because of the whole aspect of army building. But something like just a regular figure that you don't army build with, it's obviously not going to sell as much because you're only going to be getting one of it.
Yeah, and Dante, look, the Tusken Raider. Tusken Raider's still on pre-order. I had people ask me, why isn't this on waitlist? Well, it might go on waitlist before it gets in stock for all we know. It's on pre-order. You can't count this.
Right. So, all those figures that you showed, now you can get it cheaper overseas, and that's a fact. And that's probably the reason why you see stuff like still piling up in Sideshow. So, there's a serious competition right there, right? And
Yes.
that's what it is. There's nothing, it's going to benefit the collectors because you have other options to buy cheaper, and anything cheaper is pretty good, right? I mean, come on, you want to pay $200 or $400? I mean, this is really common sense. So, there's risks associated with buying overseas. Always, right? That's a fact. Whether it's always been perfect or not, it's always a risk. I buy overseas most of the time, so that is the reason why we see all these figures. And I don't see these guys or these figures, being sold out anytime soon, just because there's not even in stock. We know that there's really there's not a lot of volume for these figures, so there's not like a lot of batches.
No, these are going to be gone in February, March, Dante.
Yeah,
they're going to be gone.
As soon as they are like in stock, they're gonna start kind of like selling out. And even so, if Sideshow puts on top of a specials or 10% or 15% or whatever percent they want to do, it's gonna help buyers. So I will say, if you are one of those buyers that want to get figures at a good price, just wait for it. Don't just jump on it. Don't just kind of like pre-order day one, buy day one stuff. Just wait for it, because really you can find good deals, right? It's just patient. It's a patient game,
Yeah, and let's stay with you, Dante, for a minute here, because I'm going to go into a couple others, but I want to go back to what you and Fabio were addressing. So, as you can see here, Aries' forecast for the Star Wars Hot Toys storm. It's a storm, but I think that there's things that the reason why things are happening. So one of the things that we pointed out now is, yes, not every figure is just going to go automatically on waitlist like the heavy infantry Mandalorian. Look, that was the only figure this year that went on waitlist from stock. That's a fact. Rey was close, and it was in 3 weeks, 21 days, that hit waitlist. And we're going to get back to her and some of these other ones in a minute. But you guys are bringing up a good point, and we did talk backstage about it earlier today. And bringing this up, Sideshow releasing simultaneously with Hong Kong. Does Hong Kong reduce prices equal lack of interest? So I feel like on top of this, some collectors are looking at what's going on at Sideshow and are thinking, oh, why aren't these on waitlist yet? Again, they just came out, and you got to give it the normal course of time, 3 to 4 months, A. B, some of them are still on pre-order. They're not in stock yet. C, some figures Sideshow is releasing simultaneously, like that Lando and the Shore Troopers with Hong Kong. So how in the world is Hong Kong going to sell these for $350 to $450, $500 when Sideshow's selling Lando for $235? Talk to me, Dante. I don't think that there's a lack of interest in Star Wars. I think it's what you guys are saying. People are just choosing in the States. Look, if I can get it cheap and I can get it shipped here, I want to buy it here.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. We have different groups, Facebook groups. We join other groups as well, and you see many, many, many people, putting pictures of Lando, putting pictures of IG-11, putting pictures of all those other figures. So we've seen that. So that means that it is really not an issue. It's just people are buying overseas and getting cheaper. That's the truth. That's what it is. It's simple
And
as that.
and getting it sooner too.
And getting it sooner, because by the time Sideshow start shipping, it's gonna take a couple of weeks. Now is much better than before. So we're gonna give that to Sideshow. That's a point for them. But still, it's not enough. If you see something that it was released last week, you expect it to have at least 2 weeks after. But now, no, like 4 or 5 months after, because that's a pain in the butt, right? Because we are collectors. Some of you guys already pay for it, so it's not fair to you wait extra longer time to get your figure in hand. So the reality is that when the resellers start getting, figures to resell, they I think they overdo it sometimes, right? Because they buy so much that they can so much stock that when they sell pretty much what they need to sell day one, whatever is left, the leftovers, they need to sell it so they can make their money. So they
Like
already
any other
made their money.
business. Yeah, so you're kind of telling me, and we're going to get into this a little bit later too, that coming out of COVID, that things are changing with Sideshow, things are changing with Hot Toys, and people are adapting. And maybe you were saying like some of the overseas sellers, everyone's got to adapt here because it's not the same as it was pre-COVID, right, Dante? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Uh, and what's interesting here, going to you, Fabio, your take on that. Obviously, I love looking at your collection. I want to get it one figure or two figures in one D-top space each. Call it Fabio Land and have people take 3 hours or freaking 8 hours to go through it. But look, you're involved a lot in this, baby. That's what I see. And I don't want people to think that there is a lack of interest in Star Wars because they haven't hit waitlist yet. It's not realistic for them to. Number one. Number one. Number two, it's not realistic that you're going to sell Lando for $450. Why isn't he selling like the A New Hope Han? Well, because he's available right now and in stock at Sideshow at $235. And trust me, I already had for my sources, plus Sideshow confirmed. They only made 4,000 or 5,000 of Lando for here. It's going to go. It's going to go quick, and it's going to be gone.
That's why I made sure I got a couple of them.
Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't have as savvy as you were if you knew they were going to be worth jet trooper money.
Correct, exactly. You could kind of tell, not too close, but you could kind of tell. I could kind of tell what figures are overproduced or bad. They make too many of them. Lando, I knew right away, just because of the way he looks, the materials that they use, the type of clothes, like there's no reason for them to ever use that type of stuff ever again. You know what I mean? To have a reissue of him for no reason, So figures like that, they make a limited amount. And the one thing that they can do at some point is, which is what they're doing now, is give us a 2.0. Reissues, I feel like they're getting smarter with the reissues, like they did the Marty McFly figure. They're starting to notice people are complaining about reissues constantly. So what are they doing? We're going to give you the same figure, tweak it a little bit so you don't complain about it. Mm-hmm. The smartest thing they could do, they make collectors happy. If you missed the 1.0, there's your 2.0. You don't have to worry about getting the first one unless you want to. And Hot Toys is making their money, and collectors can't complain because it's not a reissue. So we all win.
Well, listen, we got 80 in here all the way up now. Please go ahead and hit that like button. And welcome to the Market Show Live. We're going to be having hopefully a couple other panel members join us in a little bit. But welcome to everybody who's in here. And in case you didn't know, baby, guess what? I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Darrington. And I'm serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk along with Fabio and Dante. Are you kidding me? Look, and here's the other thing. I don't just say these things and just to say it, but really, you could even look. And I agree. I totally agree that there is a storm going on, but there was a storm going on before this year ever happened. Dante and Fabio. There's been a storm for a little bit, and really, it's a huge storm in the secondary market. And one of the key things that you can always do to evaluate is, are figures selling in the secondary market? Are they suffering in the secondary market? Are there major trends in the ocean that are pointing towards a downtrend, which also affects what Hot Toys and other manufacturers like Hasbro and Gentle Giant and so on and so forth are going to go ahead and do? And is there a change in there? And I say yes, but they're actually going higher. So, for instance, let me bring this up because I'm going to tie this all in here, and then we'll go to you with this Fabio. I'm going to switch the screen, bring this up, and here's Kylo Ren, because people were asking me, why isn't Kylo Ren on Waitlist yet? Well, because if you go back to my videos months ago, I was telling you Kylo Ren was probably going to be January, and it was going to be gone, and was not going to go anywhere near. I said Frey would be gone in 3 weeks. Kylo would be gone in January. This is just how it's going to go. This is Kylo Ren from The Rise of Skywalker. They made more of him than they did the Rey, for sure. And there's just a difference with Rey. Not only on top of that, there's a lot of interest for certain characters. And I'm going to bring this up on the screen about Rey. And I'm going to bring up a lot here. And you guys are going to have to bear with me with this. But this will be, pulling this up on the screen. You want to know how Rey, if there's a lack of interest, people don't know what to buy. This went on Waitlist, and going back from just the last week, the last 2 weeks, you guys can go ahead and take a look at this right here. And this is from Hawk Wars Toys. And this just sold. He actually just sold 6 of these over the last 7 days. And $315, best offer accepted, $5 off, not including the $23.11 in shipping. And Hawk Wars Toys, look at that, over 1,200 feedback yet already, 100%. Let me bring up more for you. Bringing this up on the screen.
One thing I did notice, Aries, on
go ahead,
on eBay. So I feel like, my personal opinion, I feel like a lot of people aren't purchasing on eBay ever since they started adding tax to purchases.
Yes.
I feel like people,
it sucks.
people were always shopping on eBay, for everything, try to get deals, try to make offers, even email other sellers, asking them what's the least you could take. But I feel like even with all that, people aren't bothering as much because of the fact that now you're adding tax to it, and you're buying a figure $300, $400, $500. You add tax to that, it gets even that much more
damn expensive. And I don't even want to sell any of them on there.
Right.
And I have my account. Right. But no, it's a good point, Fabio. But you could look at this one here from Cybermix, over 11,000 feedback, just back from the other day, $315, not including almost $28 in shipping, not including taxes. Let me just continue to go on over here, and I could show you a ton more. But bringing this up on the screen, guys, and you can see right here, pulling this up, you had one from November 29th, $370. You had one back on December 7th, $370. This is Rey and Dia. And when you start seeing them go like that, you know that something is happening and where this figure's going. Let me pull this up onto the screen. The new listings that are coming up from U.S. sellers, $390. U.S. sellers, good U.S. sellers. And usually around the holiday season, you can get bargains. Not on this Rey and Dio. Let me go to another one right here. See if I can pull this one up. And that didn't work. Give me one. Let me try this again. I just want to pull up a bunch of data to show you guys. $375. Another U.S. seller. 100% positive feedback, not including $17. So my point with this here, guys, pulling this up onto the screen, is even though you can't really say that people aren't interested in hot toys, that are not buying as much, because the secondary market, forget about original trilogy, forget about the Mandalorian, forget about the figures we all really want. Even when you got Rey and Dio, it's just, she wouldn't be selling like that, especially at a time like here, if there's just too much to buy and there's no interest in Star Wars. She would be the last one that would be selling some of those figures. So my point is, you got to look at what's going on in the secondary market as well. And then you got to take into consideration, like what you guys were pointing out, what Sideshow has done differently. They want the figures released at the same time, what they're doing up in Hong Kong, and exactly when these figures are listed on in stock versus pre-order. I don't see anything going on with this store that is tracking that Star Wars is on a downtrend, Dante. I see it with everything I showed you, that it's on an uptrend. Go.
Yeah, no, it is. It is, especially those really good figures, you're gonna see the prices increasing. But I'm just kind of surprised. I just want to kind of go back to what Fabio said about eBay. Like, I noticed that a lot, and I thought it was just me, but I noticed a lot that, people are not buying, as often. That's the perspective. Again, it's just it could be just us, but if you guys notice it, let us know in the chat. I see people buying more through Facebook groups now than before, and because of that, are also using a lot of scammers around, and it's a lot of people getting scam, and that's unfortunate. Just I know this is kind of like a side. I'm just going side topic, Aries, but I just want to tell you guys, if you see something that is really good, is really really good in price and everything, is probably it's good to be true. It's too
Yeah,
good
it's too good to
be
be
true.
true, Fabio, right? You've gotten a lot of figures. I hope you've never gotten burned, but I'm sure you don't get burned twice. It's too good to be true. Stay away.
The one bad experience I had in the very beginning was that this guy sends me. So he says he ships the figure. He sends me an envelope. So he puts tracking down that the figure shipped. Uh, the next day or 2 days later, I get an envelope. The guy's name. To me. I open the envelope. Now the envelope has the tracking number that he provided to me on the eBay on the purchase thing. So I go, okay. I open the thing. I'm like, oh, well, he says it's delivered. I open the envelope. He sends me a letter that says, no, listen to this. This is the craziest thing that ever happened to me.
Man, a
He
letter.
sends me a letter that says, thank you for your purchase. We're currently looking for your item and it'll ship very soon. That was it. What the guy tried to do was, by adding that tracking number to that envelope, he made it seem like he had shipped the package. I filed the claim immediately. I got my money right back. Never happened again.
You gotta watch out. And really, what I people always ask me, they're like, "Hey, what do you think of? I got this deal." Like they'll tell me, they're like, "Aries, you're wrong on Ray and Geo, even with all that data. I saw one sell for 220." I'm like, right, okay, and the seller had zero feedback or negative zero, and you're probably not going to get your figure. Or she has a nice fingerprint on her dress. Of course, you're going to get it for 220. You're going to get Leia New Hope for 220 with that crap. So they come with me with that stuff, and it's like it's not accurate. But when you look at some sellers like Josh at Comic Concepts, Dante, or sellers like Ray at Hawk Wars Toys, and some of these other sellers that I put up a lot that have a lot of feedback, like, oh, well, it's not as low as somebody with -2. You know what, though? I have purchased about 4 figures, I think, from Ray at Hawk Wars Toys. Magnificent. And a couple of them being old ones. And when he's saying that it's truly what it is, it really is. And I think sometimes it's worth spending the extra $20.
I was gonna.
Then even if you don't, and even on the Facebook groups, I've bought a couple things on there, and honestly, it sucked. A lot of things was great. Same thing on eBay. There's no like heaven. This is the heaven selling place, and you're never going to get burned. Get the heck out of here. Too good to be true. But go ahead.
No, what I was noticing also was that people are trying to save money so badly that they will buy a used figure, no shipper, completely beat up, just to say, I got the figure. Spend that little bit of extra money and buy it brand new. Be the first one to own the figure. If you want to resell it after that, then fine. But to buy somebody else's abused figure for dirt cheap, and you're pretty much, you can't even say dirt cheap because you're paying pretty much retail for a used old figure that somebody abused. Now you're getting this figure, usually with problems, but because you want to save money that bad, this is what you have to deal with. Unnecessary. I think it's unnecessary, and I think people should.
It is unnecessary. It all comes at the end of the day, comes to your budget, right? But I do agree with that, Fabio. I do agree with your point, because if you can get something, let's say use and abuse for $250, just to put a number right there, and you can get a new one for $300. Shit, spend an extra $50 and get it brand new. As Fabio said, you open it, you're the owner, first owner. If you want to sell it, guess what? You can flip it for maybe more than that too, because it's pretty much brand new. So it's a win-win at the end of the day, right? If you're thinking with the investment mindset, right? I'm always, when I buy stuff, like I'm very careful when I buy stuff from people. Even when people buy stuff from me, like I take it very seriously. As soon as I have your money, it is my responsibility to deliver to you the best possible way. If I get a figure shipped in a freaking just plastic bag, I'm gonna ship it back to you double box with bubble wrap, because I'm a collector as well. And as soon as I have your money, my responsibility is to send it to you and make sure you're happy with your purchase.
And listen, if you're going to buy off the Facebook groups, baby, look, you need to have patience, like Fabio was saying. Sit back, have your coffee. What table are you at there, baby? Because we're going to be spilling a ton of coffee here. But I love these conversations. I feel like they help collectors. People are like, wow, you just got Jen Urso now. Why didn't you get that 2 years ago? But yet you got some of the figures that, are on pre-order or this and that. I said, look, because I have patience. I could have stopped and not got the ones on pre-order, but look, they're too expensive. So I always tell people, utilize patience. But when you're utilizing patience, sometimes you can get burned with a deal too good to be true. So don't be in a darn rush, because even the Dark Jedi is taking a lot of time to get all the figures in the secondary market that I hope I can all get at some in particular point. But at the same time, if it's too good to be true, I take that money and I put it away. And if I have to wait another 3 months, if I have to wait another 3 years, I'll wait. But I'll eventually get it. It's a game.
The one thing with that, Aries, though, that could backfire is, have your patience, fine. But don't forget that there are figures that the longer you wait, the more expensive they get. So that can backfire as well. Yeah. So you got to be very careful. If you really want something and you think you want to wait for it, really think about what that figure is, what line it is, what line it's from, because all that stuff matters. Like, and the time of year that it is as well. For example, you want to get an older figure during the time that an older Star Wars figure during the time the Mandalorian's on. That figure is going to skyrocket because it's going to be popular at the moment. If you wait until, for example, something Marvel, something DC is happening that's big, taking off the attention away from Star Wars at the moment, figures are going to drop. So that's when you take advantage. You don't want to hold off too long, because then the hype dies down, the figures just keep going up and up and up, and then you're screwed.
Well, listen, we got 87 in here now. Please go ahead and hit that like button, baby. I've got it pouring all up. Listen, what table are you at? You need a refill yet? Because we're going to get to a lot of the juicy stuff as well, even though I think this is pretty juicy, talking about the storm, baby. Come on. I'll pour it. You want regular? You want decaf? I've got Wizard Juice. I've got Off-World Jawa Egg Juice. I don't know. You want to hear about... I've got Spotchka. I got the Lux Spotchka, baby. 91. hit the like button. Look, here's the last topic on predicting the store before I get into some other stuff. I'm going to pull this topic up on the screen. Deadstock versus waitlist alerts, Dante. Look, I've been in manufacturing for all my life, and there's certainly a lot of adjustments that Hot Toys is making, that Sideshow is making, that all companies are making that are looking to survive anyway. And there's certainly an issue, and there's certainly an issue that happens with Deadstock. What do you do when you have this issue? You make adjustments. So you can't just think that the only smart people are people like us and other YouTubers. We're the only smart ones, and Sideshow and Hot Toys are just dummies. And they're going to continue to ram their head into the wall and be like, yes, please, let's overproduce all of these so we have dead stock next year so that we can give away free shipping because we want to give away money. Yeah, take all our money because we want to run ourselves out of business. It's just not going to happen. And I remember having this discussion with a lot of people that comment, Aries, you're crazy on the Ray. You're crazy with the Ray. The Ray is going to be in the bargain bin, not only in Spooktacular 2021, Spooktacular 2022. And I'm like, listen, they're just not going to do this during COVID. It's not going to happen. It's going to be smaller productions. I don't think. And Dante, this is one of the reasons I believe, you correct me, you were predicting that 2-pack Boba Fett. They're just not going to go make 80 million of these so it sits in stock, so they can get free shipping on that there's a danger with that figure. You can even see how it's selling. I just think that they are calculating this. You know, we know what you do with your profession, what you guys all do. There's some careful considerations put into measuring how much we're going to order pre-order, how much we're going to order overstock to fill other interests, but then that's it, so that we don't lose money or have money sitting there that we can't recuperate. Go.
Well, obviously, right? You're not gonna produce 100,000 copies of, Tusken Raiders and only 10 copies of Ahsoka, for example, right? So they know they do the market research. They know what figures are more popular than others. They know which ones make sense to produce in high volumes. They know all that. The issue here is not the production. The issue here is how the stock over there, I'm talking about in Hong Kong, the resellers are getting the figures and getting as much as they can to then sell it cheap after the first wave of day one releases, which affects the locally here in the US because a lot of collectors, including myself, we don't want to wait the longer time to get figures. So it is not the question of how many figures they're producing, because we know that they're producing the right amount of figures. It's not like they're not overdoing, because it will be such a waste of money and resources. You cannot make the same amount of Iron Mans, for example, than Quells, or the same amount of Ahsokas than Tusken Raiders, same amount of Luke Skywalkers or Darth Vaders or Darkseid Anakins than, I don't know, like a stormtrooper, for example, or something like that. So they know which one they need to produce the right amount. Plus, they have numbers because when you pre-order through Sideshow, they have a number of people that pre-order. But at the same time, there are people who cancel the pre-orders because they don't want to wait any longer. And that's what happened with Captain America. That's what happened with the sale that they had in Hong Kong for those figures. So it's really not the issue of how many figures they're producing. It's just the fact that they are getting the majority of figures and selling it cheaper. And that's a point I want to make, is that only takes for Sideshow. They can sell pretty much everything right away. They only need to put the blue bar to create the hype, to create people the fear of missing out, the FOMO thing. So they do that. I'm guarantee you that most of those figures are going to be gone. As soon as you see the blue bar for Lando, the blue bar for any of Death Watch or IG-11, I guarantee you, people are going to go crazy and start buying it. And then in a matter of hours or maybe a day or two, it's going to be gone.
Yeah, I mean, give me a prediction, both of you. Whichever one wants to go first. What's going to happen with this 2-pack Boba Fett, regardless of when it comes out? Comes out tonight, comes out December 27th, 29th, January 5th, January 15th, whenever. How long do you think it's going to take for that 2-pack to go away?
I think it's going to go. I don't think it's going to go super fast, but I think it's going to go faster than usual than any other figure usually would, just because of the hype of the show and we're getting the two both. That very rare that we get a 2-pack of anything. So just that alone, just for people to say, I got the first, not the first. I got the Boba Fett 2-pack, in hand. People are going to go crazy for this figure, for that 2-pack. And like I said, it's going to be a lot of people because, like I said, I've always said, the amount of Star Wars fans, I think, is so much more than Marvel, than DC. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's going to go fast, but again, not super fast where it's going to be like, oh wow, like that was crazy. No, I don't think so, but it will.
Good stuff, Dante.
I think I think it's gonna be gone. It's gonna be the same, almost the same thing as Venom. What happened with the first Venom? You see what happened,
Wow.
right? People got into the movie. It was hype everywhere. Figure was gone. Boom.
I'm gonna tell you why that's different, though. You want to know why that's different? Because we never got a Venom from the movie. We were dying from a Venom. Remember, Toys R Us came out with Venom. That sold out immediately because everybody wanted a Venom. The moment Venom came out, it sold out because we've been wanting that figure since the movie came out 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So I think that's the difference with that figure specifically. But you're right.
No, it is a possibility that that's what it is. But also, if they release the figure by the time they release the first episode of the book of Boba Fett, and being that this is a 2-pack, and normally 2-packs they don't overproduce figures, so I don't think it's gonna be a quantity of this. I think it's gonna be enough for people. But as soon as people start watching the first episode, and especially if he shows up with those robes, which shows up with the same kind of armor, that figure is gonna be gone quicker. That's gonna be gone quicker. So I have a feeling
He's
that
going to
it will
show
not.
up. Yeah, you're right. They're going to have a
Right.
flashback of him coming out of the
Yeah,
and getting taken care
and
of.
that's the only way that you can get Tamara Morrison in that outfit with the black tunic,
Well, and with that head sculpt, because they're obviously changing it.
with the helmet, because he's gonna be,
Just
he's
the
gonna have
eyebrows and
eyebrows
all
like
that,
Izzy
yeah.
said. They have some eyebrows spas in Tatooine. So I think that's what's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna last longer. I think it may be perfectly fine if he's gonna make it in stock, but I don't think it's gonna last that long. Just because it's gonna be kind of like a Grail type of figure. It's a 2-pack. It's really hard to get 2-packs. It's really here and there, and that one is perfect because it's the first Boba Fett that was introduced after Return of the Jedi. Right. That right there is your hint. It's gonna be a Grail.
Yeah, 91 in here. Please go ahead and hit that like button. We're just getting started on the market show live, baby. Are you kidding me? Oh, thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe. Listen, I'm going to lay something on you right now. We are 136 subscribers away. I don't talk about it too much, to 2,000 subscribers. So just 136 away, I'm going to hit 2K. Is it possible that if you're subscribed to the channel, that you're going to be eligible to win a free hot toy? And I say yes. And the giveaway is going to be sponsored by Ray with Hawk Wars Toys, who is going to help me out with this. And you're going to be able to choose if you win what figure you're going to get. You're going to be able to choose between a regular 501st. You're going to be able to choose between a Lando Baby, my figure of the year so far, or a Coruscant Guard, or a Squad Leader Short Trooper, whichever one of the four you want. And is it possible that it's going to come to you brand new in the brown shipper box? And I say yes. But guess what? Look, help me finish this 136. I can never care if I get the 3K, 4K, 5K. Who cares? Always just wanted to get the 2K. You can't be eligible. You won't win if you're not subscribed. So hit the subscribe button, baby. Do I got one of these things like Dante has prepared? There you go. Look, Dante, I'm prepared. Please subscribe. Please subscribe and listen. All you got to do, The contest rules are going to be coming up, and then you can win one of those figures, and it's going to be exciting. And please follow Hawk Wars Toys on Instagram. He's awesome. He participates on here a lot. We're going to have him on the show a little bit. Really appreciate him helping me out with that giveaway. But we'll talk more about it a little bit later. But I'm pretty stoked, guys. And I want to get into the next segment. And I know we have a couple other panel members that should be joining us. Hopefully they're able to. But I got to go ahead and start this segment here. And let me pull this up onto the screen. Top 10 Hot Toys coffee spillers in 2021. And actually, is it the Hot Toys Wizard? It's SixthScaleMan. It's Lael.
How you doing, man?
What's going on, brother?
I'm fine, man. I've been kind of rummaging around all daggone day, man. Like, we just came from it was a tree lighting Christmas thing that they have in this area. So something that they new, I guess, like this, it's new to like the area. So they have these vendors. It's like a 2-day event. So we went there, like met with some of the vendors and watched the tree lighting. So, just trying to be as festive. Now, mind you, it's that way. And it's like almost 60 degrees here, warmer than what it normally would be. So it's crazy.
Yeah, you know what? I'm in Western PA, and it's like 60 degrees today.
Right.
And I'm in the car with my one daughter. We're at a practice of hers this morning, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Stay at one temperature already.
Like,
I hate
one, make up your mind, man. Make up your mind, like something, man. What's going on, Fab and Dante?
What's up, man? How are you?
What's up, man? All good, man.
Yeah, it's funny that I'm actually right next to Dante, bro, because, I mean, come on, that forbidden slang, you know what I mean? He could talk the pants off of anybody, so you know how that goes.
I love that whole Dear Howard. What was that, Dear Howard?
Bro, that like, literally, you're on to something with that, bro. You should do that often because that is nice. I like that. I really love that. Was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, I got good feedback from the viewers, so they kind of like this. So we're gonna do that segment every Friday. So
yeah, that's dope. I like that.
Yeah.
Lael, before I jump into this, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll give you an opportunity to say your piece on it. So I was beginning of the show, and obviously, does Aries agree that there is a storm? And I do, but I have a different forecast with it.
Okay.
Because, in a nutshell, what I was noticing is you have some people are commenting saying, hey, Aries, or hey, look, all these figures are not selling for Star Wars Hot Toys. They're not on Waitlist. And I'm like, whoa. I said, hold on. They just got off pre-order. They've just been on there for 2 or 3 weeks, some of these in 6 weeks, and typically it takes 3 to 4 months to go on Waitlist. I said, hold your horses. Secondly, some of the ones you're talking about are still on pre-order. They still have the pre-order tag, so they might go on Waitlist before they get in stock. But you only had one figure this year. It took the Rages 3 weeks, but it still took 3 weeks to get on Waitlist after being in stock.
Yeah.
The Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, that's the one, like the Mud Trooper the year before that went, or the year before that, that got on Waitlist. But when I look into the secondary market, one of the things that you can do if something is suffering, you would see the change in the secondary market that things are starting to lower. I'm actually seeing the contrary. Of course, you always have your few and some that downtrend, but it's actually figures are going up. It's crazy.
Yeah,
so there's a huge interest. So I don't really see a fluctuation. I see a lot of figures that came out, but I don't get a sense that these figures are going to be in stock as long as the Jet Troopers. I think that they just came out. Give them its few months. I've been saying, give it in March. They're going to be on Waitlist, a lot of them. Go ahead, go.
Okay, so basically I think you can't compare it to like the Jet Trooper or anything when it comes to like Rise of Skywalker, because that movie was so divisive. And a lot of people basically had a bad taste in their mouth based on like the sequel trilogy. You know, when you had Force Awakens, you had, The Last Jedi, you had Rise of Skywalker. They were divisive films. You know, some people really enjoyed them. Some people didn't. Some people didn't want any type of remnants from them. The only 2 figures that I think that actually sold well was, of course, Kylo and Rey. You know what I mean? That really sold from the last film itself. But that Jet Trooper, I mean, yeah, it's one of the figures that was sitting there for a while, but I guarantee you, once that goes, it's gone. And it will go. Like, eventually it will. There's certain troopers that have had longevity. Like the First Order troopers, like the 2-pack, that was there for years. It didn't go anywhere. But, I mean, I think with those, like those one-offs, I mean, I have that Jet Trooper. And I'm going to tell you like this. Contrary to what people believe, it's a really decent figure when you have it in hand. It pops. Like, it really, really, really pops. Just like the Sith Trooper. That red, that crimson red, it pops. It reminds me of the Crimson Guards from G.I. Joe back in the day. But that thing pops. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, and that right now is sold out, right? Like that thing is almost damn near going up, I believe.
It's going up.
Yeah, and it's going up. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's certain things, yes, you know, that will, you know, have a bit more longevity than others. And it might, you know, be easy to get your hands on. But those one-offs, I just feel as though, like I said, you can't always judge a book by its cover. With those figures, they have certain presence to them. And once it catches fire, when people, it's like all it takes, literally, and we live in a world right now where all it takes is visuals. If you see somebody and they have that figure and they do something quite well with it and pose it a certain way, or it might be unique in a detail, or it just, somebody can just put a figure up, a random figure up. And you know, and we've seen it. All of us have seen it. All four of us have seen it. If you're a part of a certain group, somebody can put a random figure up, right? As soon as they put it up, they might pose it. Yeah, it might get like a slight bit of pushback, but there's some people that will have interest and they'll ask you, well, where did you get that figure from? And once they start, and then it just circles like Chinese whispers, and more people start buying it, and they draw attention to it. And when that happens, that price shoots up. So, I mean, it's just guaranteed something will happen. It just, you know, just like, what was it? AMC did when those two cats actually put out, they twisted the stock in a sense, and they invested more money, and then it actually put more money back in AMC, and now they have a survival plan right now. That's what happens with these figures. Like, if we invest in certain figures and one figure has more intention than the other, that's what actually happens. It will shoot up. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and this is like, I'm saying it right now. People, if you don't, and I'm telling you this right now, if you do not have, or in hand right now, that Death Watch that Death Watch Mando, that piece is brilliant. In hand, I have two of them, one more on the way. That piece is brilliant. If that thing doesn't, once it sells out, I guarantee you that's going to shoot up, because that piece is brilliant. I'm telling you right now. I don't have
it in hand, and I've been hearing a lot about it.
Bro, it is probably by far, out of the Mando figures that I actually have right now, by far my favorite figure right now out of all Mando, even whether it's Beskar, whether it's the chrome version, like you know, whichever version, whether it's and I, you know, we've already got like our you know, you've heard how divisive everybody has been about the armor, whether it's IG-11, you know, the Doris Steel Mando, it doesn't matter. This figure has so much presence. I mean, the body is slightly different, but the material is different. I love it. If I'm not trying to army build, but I have an idea of what I want to do, because I'm not really sure that, you know, once we get Bo-Katan, that we're going to actually get, Casca Reeves and Wolves. I don't think we're going to actually get those. I don't know. You know, the way it's looking, we probably won't. So, I mean, me, myself, I'm going to pose Bo-Katan with with basically the Night Watch. It's just basically the way I see it, you know, right now. But again, it is a figure that once it's gone, it's gone. So
that one's gonna skyrocket,
and it's gonna skyrocket. So I think, you know, we're the ones, because we're not just content creators, but we're so, you know, we're active in the community. You know, people see what we do, they watch what we do, they watch how we pose, they watch certain things that we collect. I guarantee there's somebody right now looking behind Fab's back right now, looking at all the figures he has, and they're like, oh, I want that. Oh, he has that. Let me see if I can find that. Exactly. That's just the way it is. Somebody right now is looking at Dante's quarter scale Mando is like, yo, I cannot wait to get that piece. Somebody's looking behind you right now, Aries, and they're like, yo, he actually has the Han Solo, trooper figure. They're looking at those things and they're like, yo, I need to get my hands on that. Where can I find it? So, I mean, I think we just guide the market. We ourselves kind of guide the market.
I want
as
those
well.
Royal Guards behind you, man.
Yeah.
Look at those Royal
Bro.
Guards. I regret, and this is my biggest regret.
Mhm.
This is my biggest regret. It was a while ago when those two were out.
Yeah.
Get it like below retail.
Yeah.
And I said, nah, I don't want it because I'm not.
Bro.
I'm not. I regret it so much because right now I have Palpatine. I love that,
Bro.
and that would be perfect with those two, man. But now they're so expensive, so I'm gonna wait for a reissue.
I'm such an OG fan. I'm such a New Hope Empire. I mean, Empire is my first love. Anybody knows that, hands down. As much as I love Rogue One, hands down, Empire is my favorite film of all time. So I'm such an OG fan that when those drop, because the thing is like, as soon as they announced it, bro, I was like, yeah, 2. Boom, 2. I paid them off. I just 2 right off the back. So when it came to deliver, or whenever actually hit production, I knew I had them coming. That's just the way I felt. So it was just a no-brainer for those because I knew it was gonna. And they pop on your shelf. It pops, bro.
Wait, is it possible the Hot Toys wizard is here? And I say, oh, it's Will.
Close enough.
My man, Foxification in
What's
the
up,
building.
bros?
What's up, man?
Doctor,
Pretty boy.
Dante, I love that Mando in the background. That's looking
See?
real
See what I'm
nice.
saying?
Real
See what I'm
nice.
saying?
I mean, I
See the
don't let
attention?
Justin hear that, but it looks good. It looks
See
good.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The attention, bro. It's the
It looks-
attention. And that's the thing. It's like, yo, I mean, that made more sense for me to actually replace that with that, quarter scale piece of crap that the other company tried to release. But yeah.
That's true.
Well, Dante, let me go to this. I'm going to go right to Will with this off of what Lael was saying, and you saw, you mentioned some really good things about the Death Watch Mandalorian, but here's what I'm going to ask you, and then go to Will with this, and wrapping this segment up, and then we'll go to some extra coffee spilling here with the biggest moments in 2021, whether they were bad coffee spills or good coffee spills. I get people to send me messages like, oh, the Death Watch Mandalorian is not on waitlist yet. What's wrong with Star Wars? I'm like, listen, it was just on pre-order 3 weeks ago. You got to give it time. Commander Cody was in stock for 3.5 months, almost 4 months. It's there's nothing wrong. And like Lael was saying, and like we were talking about before they jumped on, Dante, the prices in the secondary market, I pulled up a ton of data. If they were going down, I would see something. I don't see anything in the ocean. I see that it going up. These figures, like the Death Watch Mandalorian, the Lando, I've been talking about it for a couple months. They're going to be gone in March. They're just going to be on waitlist. Go.
I agree with Lael. That Death Watch is a really, really nice figure, man. Like it is. When I did that review, I'm very biased because I'm collecting all Mandalorian figures, right? But man, when I got that figure, just the presence that he has. I mean, right now I have him next to Beskar Mando. Man, the color is perfect. It's just because it's so like Boba Fett kind of look like, So that's, I guess that's and the presence he has is really nice. So yeah, I do agree that's one of the figures that probably is gonna be once sold out or waitlisted, it's gonna go up in price like crazy. That's gonna be a great, kind of like what happened with Heavy Mando. The Heavy Mando was exactly the same thing. He has a presence. Yes, he had only like 30 seconds of screen time.
Yeah.
But man, the presence is just there. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah.
And we'll go into you real quick with 98 in here. Welcome to the Market Show Live. We got the full paddle. Smash that like button, baby. Will, we'll wrap this segment up where we were talking about, is there a problem, this and that. I think a lot of figures, a half dozen or so, came out quickly. You had some other figures before there. Some figures released simultaneously in Hong Kong. It's like, oh, Lando's not selling because it's only 200. Well, Sideshow came out with it at the same time at 235. So why are you going to spend 400 for it? It was just a weird anomaly. I don't think that there's anything wrong. Like Lael was saying, you can see my Han Stormtrooper in the back. I was talking to somebody yesterday. You can't reach that for under $900 right now on the secondary market. It's insane. I don't see any ripples in the sea. I think once I talked about this even earlier in the year, you give these figures a few months, Sideshow looks different. They'll be on waitlist when it comes to Star Wars. I really think in March these will be gone too. I don't think there's any problem. I think there's a storm, but I think that there's been a storm because even when you come into this hobby, there's so much to buy in the secondary market. Like Lael was saying, look at the back of our shelves here, our DTOFs. What do I buy? It's overwhelming whether there's stuff on pre-order or not. But go ahead.
Yeah, I agree, Aries. I do think with Lando in particular, I don't know what you guys have talked about so far, but my speculation is that it's a multitude of factors. But I think one thing is, like you said, it is in the middle of a storm. Lando came out at a really difficult time because so much dropped at the same time, like Shore Trooper and Lando, and then you got a Spider-Gwen, and you got Miles, and you got all this stuff dropping like at a very similar time. And there's probably so much other stuff. I'm not even Harley, right? There's so much other stuff. A lot of things that were dropping at once.
Yeah.
And Lando just came out at the wrong time. Also, I do think part of it is, like we always see with Hot Toys, right? I think a lot of us say that we want certain characters, but then when it comes to put your money where your mouth is, a lot of people will tap out. So kind of like
that does happen. That does
so I
happen.
do feel like
That's
that
part of the
does happen
storm.
here. Whether it's part of the storm, I think it is, but also I think it's just the nature of the beast, how collectors can be. All of us, we all do it. Like we say, we want Nebula, for example, and then Nebula sits for a while. And then even now she's sold out. You can get her pretty much retail or less. I mean, a lot of people say they want a character and then they get it and then they don't pay for it. So because the invoice comes and you're like, I thought I wanted it. Maybe I wanted it at the time, but then I didn't. So I think that's part of it with Lando. I think Lando also came out at a really tough time. So Lando but I think on the secondary he will do well. I think Lando is. I think he is a very he could be a very popular character that a lot of people really want to fit into their Star Wars collection because he's an OG character and he's great. And he's a cool ass figure. I mean, I'm still fighting the temptation to get him. I'm probably going to get him. I'm probably going to get him for the end layout. I'm waiting for a little bit more for the right deal. But
I'm going to tell you though, Will, and just to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying right now, and I'm going to let you, if and all of us know that if in fact, and if the wizard makes this announcement, but we all know that if Hot Toys says, or if they even release a hint of them doing a Bespin Han,
right?
That Lando is
he's
gone.
Way more popular.
He's more popular at that point because then you can't have that without having a companion piece like Lando. So,
right, and you have Leia, him, and Bespin Han. That would be because I have the Leia.
That Leia's going up now. Can you imagine that Bespin Leia, Lael?
Yeah, right.
That Bespin Leia is my favorite Leia. It's the only Leia I have. It's my favorite Leia, period. It's the one that attracted me the most. The outfit is fantastic.
Piece.
The sculpt is always great on every Leia, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that outfit just drew me the most. I think it was very regal and majestic looking. I really liked it. But that's why I have it. And but yeah, I mean, I do think Star Wars is still the king right now. Marvel was the king for a long period of time. Now Star Wars kind of, at least in the States, Star Wars has taken that over. So most Star Wars figures pretty much go retail or over once they sell out, or even around then. So yeah, I mean, I think Lando will be fine. There'll be some other Shore Trooper right now. That's another one, right? I mean, everyone was paying crazy prices for Shore Trooper, and then he gets basically reissued, and then it's kind of a remake 2.0 with some different stuff, and then he's just sitting around. So and you could get him real cheap. So all of them. So I mean, that's another example where I just feel like it's crazy. Like when we can't have something, we'll pay crazy prices for it, but when it's readily available, we'll be like, like Dark Side Anakin. Dark Side Anakin, like nobody wanted it. I mean, like he sat on the sideshow for like 2 years. And and then nobody wanted him, and then now everyone's like, I can't believe I missed out. It's like we all do it, but it's
Aries said, did Will tell you my story, Aries?
No.
About bro. I was one of the ones that Fab. You probably like Fab. It is funny, bro. I was one of the ones who had that Dark Side Anakin. Like I pre-ordered it. Was it pre-ordered? Or it was I guess
I think you pre-ordered it. Yeah,
I think I pre-ordered it, and I pre-ordered it, to pay it off and everything, and got that message. I was one of the ones that when it came time for my final payment, it was ready to go. I got that message from Sideshows that they overestimated their stock.
Oh, you got!
I've never seen that happen before.
They overestimated their stock.
I've never had that happen ever. Thank God. I would die.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, Lael, you and I heard of others having the same problem.
Yep.
Anakin's the only time I've ever seen that happen.
They overestimated their stock, and they canceled the order, and they refunded the money.
Damn.
Oh my goodness.
I was gutted,
I
bro.
still think they're going to get a 2.0 version of that figure. Whether
I
it's the
was
same
gutted.
base or not, I think
Yeah.
you're going to get another version of it though.
Mhm.
They have to because it's so expensive on eBay right now.
Right.
So they have to. They have
Right.
to
Right.
issue.
But
Yeah.
now with the
That's
Anakin show, probably it's gonna,
Right.
they're gonna have a flashback, and that's the thing, right? And that's what we were talking about before. The Mandalorian saved Star Wars, if you think about it, because before the Mandalorian, pre-Mandalorian, let's call it,
Mhm.
everything was in stock, sitting on the shelves for a long time.
Mhm.
After post Mandalorian, shit is gone. Nothing is like lasting anymore.
Mhm.
So and we have shows coming. We're gonna have Obi-Wan's show, the Book of Boba Fett coming, Andor series, so you name it. So we're gonna have a bunch of figures that we're gonna be
Mhm.
seeing, a bunch of reissues with the brand of the show. So
And
but that
Star
Dark
Wars.
Side Anakin is freaking good.
I was gonna say Star Wars is not going anywhere either. They're
No.
here to stay.
No.
These
No.
Disney Plus shows, yeah, and the
No.
games now. So but yeah, you're
Yes.
right, Dante. Because I got really lucky, Aries and Party. Like I bought all my Star Wars figures when Star Wars was really low. So I just happened to time it very luckily. I bought Chewie for like $200 brand new.
Oh,
A
jeez.
New Hope Han Solo brand new for like $215. I got a New Hope Ben Kenobi for like $230. Like I got all these great figures, and then Star Wars after Mando came out, like Dante said, Star Wars just went crazy. But at the time, it was real low, so I got everything I wanted for real cheap. So
Well, that's
Luckily.
you're very lucky. But Lael,
Yeah.
I do think you're gonna luck out. But I'm gonna hold the Dark
hope
Side
so.
Anakin talk. You guys will
I hope
will
so.
hear why.
I still have my original. I mean, now I do have like the light side Anakin, so I still have
see.
that one. But I wanted
Yes.
that dark side so bad, bro.
I don't have
I
any
did.
Anakin right now, so I'm struggling a little bit because Aries I cashed in. I had Dark Side Anakin and I bought it retail at Sideshow, but then I sold it for like $760 because I was like, I got to cash in, like cash my chips and wait for a reissue. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, at $760 is where it's going for right now, and it's
Right.
trending up, baby. But we are going to
Yeah.
talk a little bit more about him in a bit. But before we go to the next segment, I will close this segment by saying, so does Aries agree that there is a storm? To make a long story short, and we had a great discussion, agree with all the points here. Yes, I do agree. I think that part of it is people tapping out on pre-orders, a lot of stuff coming out, oversaturation. But at the end of the day, my forecast is a little bit different because the one point perspective I come from is I don't sense that there is going to be a lot of dead stock. As we talked before, I feel like these Hot Toys and just like you see other production companies, they're savvy as well. They're paying attention as well. They're not in the business of going out of business. So I don't think there's going to be. I think there's going to be, put it to you this way, more attention by Hot Toys and other manufacturers to pay attention to dead stock, and for distributors that are going to be reselling these, that they're not going to be sitting on money for a long time. So I do think that there's going to be more production, less volumes, but I still think that the wait list is going to go the same way it's going to go when it comes to Star Wars, because the secondary market is still where it is. But anyway, let's go to the next segment for today, and I'm going to pull this banner up, which is going to be fun. Top 10 Hot Toys coffee spillers in 2021. Now, look, I'm serving it up here, and I've got my own coffee cup here. Let me know what table you're at, and I'll make sure that you get served. Decaf, regular, spatchka, it's all on tap, baby.
Will, look at the camera. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't drink coffee, so but I'll take some, Aries, for you.
There you go. I also got some Wizard special, special.
It's like Mike's Magic
Bubbly.
stuff from Space Jam.
Yeah, there you
No
go.
one knows what it is, but it just makes you better.
So listen, with these guys, these are my top 10. But you tell me where you are on them, and then you could also at the end tell me things that I missed or whatnot. But these are top 10 coffee spilling moments. They're not just joy. They could maybe be absurd, maybe surprise, maybe shocking, maybe I didn't expect it. But let me go to the first one for Star Wars Hot Toys, and I'll pull it up on the screen. We'll start with you, Fabio. Here we go. So one of the reasons why this is number 10 for me, as we go up to number 1, there was so much talk that they were only going to make 1 or 2 Bad Batch figures, and we weren't going to get maybe the whole 5. And that still may be true. I'm not convinced. However, all of a sudden they show, this figure here of, Crosshair, and I'm like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a clone thing going on. They might just make these even if the show goes out because people are buying these things right now. They are.
Mm-hmm.
So this was kind of surprising to me. I didn't expect to see a prototype in 2021. What do you think?
I think this figure, if they do make it, it'll sell. Number one, it's if you look at it, I love the design. I love the look. It's like a modernized stormtrooper, more sleek, more it looks awesome. So if they do make something like this, I would definitely buy it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go to Lael on this.
Oh man, come on, come on, Fab. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you, bro. I have the first two on pre-order. I mean, it was just no brainer. Crosshair is, you know what, Crosshair was, and I tell people this is one of my favorite characters from that series because there's so much mystery surrounding him. We're going to see him again in season 2. But yeah, I love this figure. I love the design. He kind of reminds me of like a cross between Clint Eastwood and Deckard not Deckard. What was the character from the original Blade Runner? It was what was his name? Not Deckard. Rutger Hauer played him. What was his name?
I know it's on the tip of my tongue.
It's on the tip. It's on the tip of my tongue. And somebody out there who basically knows. Somebody out there live in chat, like, let me know who I'm talking about. But yes, like, I mean, he was a cross between both. It's so much. The character design is amazing. And yeah, it's just a no-brainer. As soon as they drop that, I'm right there with you. Day one.
That gun is insane.
Yes. Day one.
Yeah. So Will, going to you. Were you? For me, this is like I was surprised by this. I mean, it wasn't my number one surprise, but it did make my top 10. I wasn't sure. I did know. I'm a lot more sure now, actually, with the way the clones are selling, and what they're coming out with and how they're moving. But this was a surprise to me at the time.
Yeah, and it's interesting. There's a tricky one for me, Aries, because I have not seen Bad Batch yet. So, I still need to watch it. That and Clone Wars, according to most people, because Clone Wars is one that I know a lot of people really want me to get into. But I know Dante's trying right now, and I think he's enjoying it, right? So, yeah. So, I mean, like, at first, you have to get through the first couple.
Look at Dante. Look at Dante.
It's all right. Yeah. No, he's non-committal.
I mean, episode 11, I think I'm 11 or 12.
Keep watching.
Yeah, everyone says get past. I think
season
Dante, we should just skip the first 2 seasons, I feel like.
Keep
Just go to
watching,
season
come on,
3.
I should skip all the seasons.
Yeah, right. Skip
on,
to season
man.
7. But yeah, I do. As far as the figure goes, Aries, this figure looks really cool. I mean, I'm with you, Fabio. The gun is awesome. Like, this is a very unique Star Wars weapon from what I've seen, and I really like the look of this character. I mean, it kind of feels to me like something you would play as in Battlefront 2, which I've played a lot of, and I want a trooper like this. So to me, I really like this. It's kind of like one of those upgrade troopers you would get in the game or something. But I think he has a unique look, and I like his weapon. So to me, yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, I've not watched Bad Batch, but I've heard a lot of mixed things. I've heard a lot of things where like, okay, this is good, and there's 4 episodes of filler that people don't like. And like, oh, now it's good again, and then it gets filler again. So maybe that's one of the reasons I've kind of not watched it yet. But at the same time, these characters look pretty cool, so I'm intrigued by it. I will get to it at some point, but
I would say before I wouldn't jump into this just yet. What I mean by that is finish, like, whenever you get around with it, finish Clone Wars first. Okay. Once you finish Clone Wars, of course, you got to go into Rebels, watch Rebels, and then watch this. I would actually do it in that order. And take your time. Like, I mean, it's not like you can watch it every, now and then, here and there. So, I mean, it's really, I loved it. I mean, a lot of people didn't like it, but I loved it. Especially that last episode was insane. But yeah, I mean, you can stick it out a little bit more, bro.
Yeah. I'll get, once I get to season 7, I'll be all right. So.
Fab, you watched the entire season, right?
I watched the first 2 episodes and I completely forgot about it.
See, there you go.
I'm telling you, know what? It just must be because I'm
it,
just, I don't know, anything Star Wars, I'm just suckered into it, bro. So it just has to happen that way. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's really awesome. And Dante, let's go to you lastly here. Was this a surprise? Would this make your top 10 surprises? Were you surprised with, Echo and Hunter that, hey, all of a sudden they're teasing, here's a third one?
No, I was not surprised because we were talking before the previous live streams and some information we got that they're planning to do the whole Bad Batch line. So again, there's more seasons coming, so it makes sense that they're just gonna give you a few here, a few there, and then to complete the whole line. So I was not surprised. I haven't seen the show, so really I don't know much about the characters yet. So I haven't even finished season one of Clone Wars. So hopefully by the time it's released, I'm gonna be able to watch the whole thing.
It's okay. I'm
So-
come over there and strap you down and make you watch everything, bro.
Like,
Straight up.
Clockwork Orange.
I'm just gonna make you watch it straight up, right?
Well, okay, so that one doesn't make your top. It wouldn't make your top 10 surprises, but no, totally understand that. 95 in here. Please go ahead and hit that like button. We're counting down the top 10 Hot Toys coffee spillers in 2021, at least my perspective, and then getting the panel's perspective. So the number 9 shock for me, and this was a little bit of a shock because of the amount they did at one time, and I'm like, holy crap. So number 9 Star Wars coffee spilling moment for me is when Sideshow showed us this.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So let's
yeah.
go ahead and
then-
go to Will first. Were you surprised
Yeah.
to see Axe Woves, Casca Reeves, Cobb Vanth? I mean, just right there, I was like, what in the world? That quick?
Right.
You got, wow.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm actually a little surprised that Cobb Vanth has not been put up for pre-order yet. Axe Wolves, I don't think that figure's ever getting made personally. Most people I most time forget his name. So I love The Mandalorian. It's a great show, but it's not Bo-Katan. It's not Cobb Vanth. It's not. But it's a great looking figure nonetheless. And people would like to have the whole party of them, I guess, so you can recreate scenes. There's a lot of badass things, with Casca Reeves and all the other characters. The battle. Which droid is that? What is the droid? Is that called? I forget.
With the super battle droid.
Super Battle
Battle,
Droid, yeah, because they're in Battlefront 2 also, and they're really good.
Mm.
So I will say in the show, that's another one I would love to have, the Super Battle Droid, that and just a regular Battle Droid. I would get both of those. I think they're really good, display pieces. So I would really be all over that, and I'm shocked that those aren't out yet either. I mean, I thought that would be pretty easy for Hot Toys to make.
Well,
Got the Dark Troopers.
yeah. No, so this was definitely a kind of, I know you don't do coffee, Will, but kind of a coffee spilling moment for you then for Star
Yeah.
Wars Hot Toys.
Yeah, I mean, Cobb Vanth for sure. I mean, I thought he would come anyway, and I'm just shocked he's not up for pre-order yet, and I still think he will be put up there. But Axe Wolves, no, and then the Super Battle Droid, I think it will. Casca is, I think she's a coin flip. She'd go either way. I think Fennec is more likely to be made than she is.
Oh, for sure, Fennec. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go to Fabio real quick. Fabio, would this make your top 10 for Star Wars Hot Toy surprises in 2021 to have show all these Mandalorians like that? What do you think?
Well, when I saw this, I was like, "Oh my god, what the hell's going on?" Because it was like so random. But I wish and I hope they do make all of them, because just this picture alone, look at it. Can you imagine having all of these like in your display? Forget it.
No, I take it. Yeah. No, I'm right with you. Dante.
I hate all those characters. I think those trash. I just want Pennywise and that's it. I don't care about
Me too,
I don't
Dante. I
care
changed
about
I
Star
changed my
Wars.
opinion.
F
October
them,
1st,
all of them.
2023. Anyway.
I mean, obviously, this was like it's an awesome shot, man. I'm telling you, I can agree with Will on this one. I don't think we're gonna see, was it Axe Wolf, whatever his
Axe
name is?
Wolf.
Axe Wolves.
I don't think we're gonna see that guy. I can actually predict that maybe the Cup Banff is gonna be announced, or probably is gonna be one of those Toy Fair exclusives. But if that's the case, I don't think we're gonna have a head sculpt though. I don't know why I have that in my head. But other than that, I mean, this is a really nice gang. I mean, I love every figure here. That Grogu in that rock just looks epic. Ahsoka obviously looks beautiful, and the Din Djarin in the background. So
Listen,
these are really nice figures, man. I just want them.
Yeah, that Cobb Vanth.
No, go ahead, Fabio. I was going to say.
No, I was going to
guys-
say that Cobb Vanth is an easy figure to make. So I
Yeah.
feel like they would just prolong it if they're making the head sculpt. But it's an easy sell.
That too.
Yeah.
Too.
And I was going to say too. No, I agree with that. Dante, I don't think they can release this without the head sculpt. I mean, I don't even know if I'd buy it if they don't give. I think they have to give us the head sculpt. I think enough people would buy it. I think it's worth the mold for the Timothy Oliphant. I think that they would sell. I mean, that was kind of like a lot of people like, wow, Boba Fett lost a lot of weight. It turned out not to be Boba Fett, but it was still a pretty big moment. I don't know. I think that they gotta give this. I hope they give it to us.
Well, time will tell.
That's true.
Time will tell. Lael, is it possible? I know the feeling on a lot of collectors, and I get it, and obviously Will, Dante here, Axe Wolves, not going to happen. Casca Reeves, maybe, but I see what's happening with the Death Watch Mandalorian, and that's like a grunt. And I saw what happened with the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. I think that they could just throw these out like the Clone Troopers and make some money if they want to. So I don't know. I kind of have a little bit of a different perspective that maybe they can put these out because they're thinking, hey, they're Mandalorians. They're just going to sell.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would have thought that they would actually put out Cod Band a long time ago. I would have thought. I mean, and even like I said, Casca Reeves. I mean, look, Axe Wolves. He disappeared within the last episode, so we knew that was just a throwaway character. Maybe, and I don't know if we'll actually see him again. But in my opinion, I would have thought that Casca Reeves would have actually been released with, I mean, especially as a companion piece to Bo-Katan. It would have been a no-brainer. I mean, I'm hoping that it's something that they could still capitalize on. But, and again, it's like, look, we got to, again, and I keep saying this, remember, it's never too late because of the simple fact that right now we're riding the wave of, Spider-Man right now because we're getting, all these Spider-Man releases, all these Spider-Man figures, everything surrounding that IP right now. The attention is on that, plus the attention. I'm guaranteed by the end of the next 2 episodes of Hawkeye, we're going to get both those figures. So that's just a no-brainer there. But I think that once we get past that and we're going to be more focused on, Boba Fett, that's when you're going to start seeing a lot of releases. You're going to start seeing a lot of reveals and pre-orders and stuff like that. That's when I think I'm holding out hope for that. I never want to say never. Even though, like I said, there is a point, Will definitely has a point when it comes to that, because like I said, if we look at it, and also Hot Toys missed their history of how they do things, they always show us to give us these reveals, but then down the line, we just never see them. And who knows, even Cobb Vanth may actually have a presence in Mandalorian, because again, he is on Tatooine. So we don't know how, that, basically play itself out. But, again, I'm just holding out hope that, there's a high possibility that we'll see these figures again. I mean, they'll get a release and they'll get the run that they need. So crossing fingers. I just hope it actually happens. And I hope that once they release them, I can get them before Fab, because, Fab likes to get 7, 8, 9 of these figures. So I'm just trying to, I want to get him before he does, because he's greedy, man. I'm just trying to get my batch first.
Listen, he's going to open up. It's going to be like a museum. Fabio Land, sell tickets. Look, I want to give a shout out to my friend Kiko. Kiko Collects stopping by to say hi from gloomy Nashville. Have a great evening, fellas. Kiko, always great having you on, and thank you so much for jumping in here today. And welcome to everybody who is watching the Market Chart Show live here on this Saturday night. Come on, we're counting down a top 10 coffee spilling moments. However you would spill your coffee with here. Yeah. I'm going to go with you, Will, first on this. This is number 8 for me. We got a lot to count down here. And I'm just going to pull it up on the screen and explain why this was number 8 to me. And a lot of people were shocked, mainly because we have the best, they had the OG, and then you had the best car Mandalorian that everybody was spending money on, the deluxe and non-deluxe. And you could kind of see that with that one, they way overproduced it. And it's going to take a long time for those to go out. And then no one was thinking that this would come out with a head sculpt this year on top of everything else. And you know what? To me, it was like coffee spoons. Like, wow, they actually put it out anyway. So to me, it made my top 10 as a surprise at a coffee spilling moment.
Aries, I'm still salty about it because and Lael and I talked about this. First thing I do want to say though, shout out to Kiko Lael. He's a Michael's convert now. because he was asking me where I got my risers. I got the little
Yeah,
photo
yeah,
cubes
yeah.
from Michaels. They're like $3,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to I got Michaels right near my house." Seriously,
That's
guys,
right.
if you need acrylic risers, just get the photo cubes from Michaels. They're acrylic. They're like
Go to
$3, and they
Michaels.
work great. So
Michaels needs. I'm telling you, we need sponsorship.
yeah, we'll
Michaels.
get you one, Aries. Michaels will sponsor you. We'll get you.
Exactly.
All right, let's go.
So yeah, so as far as the Mando goes, though, yeah, I was definitely pretty shocked. Like I wasn't shocked that they made a season 2 Mando. I was more shocked of when they made a season 2 Mando, or when they announced that they were making one.
Me
Because
too.
like it was more so the reason I was upset about it, and still I'm a little salty about it, is because of the timing. Like, just I guess maybe I don't know if they care about us in the U.S. or not. Who knows? But they just started shipping the Deluxe Mando, the Beskar from season 1, right? And then people got it and like, oh, this is really great. Then like a week later, or literally days later, maybe it hasn't even gotten to your door from Sideshow yet, and you got a notice of an announcement. It's this, and it's like, oh, you know that Mando you just paid for? There's a better one coming out. And we just announced it, and we're going to show you in the photos that the one you just paid for is subpar compared to the one you want to pay for now. And it's like, God damn, why don't I just cancel my order now then? Because like, I got mine like, maybe a week or two before that. And I was like, look, this figure is superior in every way. I mean, like it's, it doesn't come with the great pram setup like the first one, but other than that, I mean, it comes with all the accessories. It comes with a Pedro head sculpt. It comes with the chrome paint. I mean, it's like, it's just, it's a great figure, not taking anything away from it. And I know there are two sides of this coin. A lot of people feel like, it's just part of the game, and I understand that. I just felt like it was a little bit underhanded business practice by Hot Toys, and I'm more than happy to say that. I mean, it's, that's why I want it, but I don't know if I'm going to get it. I still maintain that I won't, just because I don't really want to support that. But, it's different to me. I've heard the comparison to now like an iPhone every year, but that's like, it's coming out every year, right?
Right.
Like,
It's different.
and this is an iPhone you can actually use. Like, this is a toy. I mean, it's a collectible you put on your shelf and leave. Sometimes you pose it, but that's about it. And also, it's not like you just get a new iPhone and then a week later they announce another one coming out. It's, it's like a year, right? So, but for me, it's a fantastic figure. I was definitely shocked at the timing of it, if anything, but it's great.
Yeah, and I share the same feelings with you before we go to Dante on this with this. I mean, I was a little bit like, wow, I've got the OG, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and get the the Beskar Deluxe Mandalorian with the 2 Grogu. And then I saw this, I'm like, well, wait a minute, I'd much rather have this, and I really don't need that one with the 2 Grogus. I just really don't. So it was very surprising to me that they actually did it when they did, although I was predicting that they would, Dante, with this. And then because they've kind of been on a trend doing some weird things this year, and I was kind of putting the breadcrumbs together. Where does this fall for you?
Well, I was very happy to see this figure, to be honest with you. Just because, yes, I agree with Bill. With Will, it's an improvement. There's a lot of things going on, accessory-wise, head sculpts, and everything. But I still believe that this was done for a reason, right? It's kind of like Iron Man, for example. You have Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, so on. I think that's what they're doing with this Mandalorian. So you have the OG Mando, you have the Beskar Mando, and then you have this one here, right? Better painting, more accessories, head sculpt. So yes, I can see that some people might get upset. Oh, I just got my Beskar, now is this guy coming? What the hell? I can understand that part, but also I can understand collectors that wants to get the whole, like same as Iron Man, wants to get every version of the figure, that want to get this one and the Beskar and everything. So I think it was a good call, me personally, because again, I'm biased, so I cannot just gonna be saying, oh, this is crap or whatever. I can't, because I love the show and I'm gonna get that one. So.
Okay, somebody has something on over there. I don't know which one it is, but thank you so much for that, Dante. Before we go to Fabio, then we go to Lael on this 6 scale Mafia with the $9.99 Bob. Thank you so much, Anthony. Appreciate that. With 101 watching, 103. Please hit that like button. So appreciate everybody. He said, great panel tonight of fine gentlemen as always. So much coffee spilt. I need new carpets. Is the storm over yet? Come on, 6 scale Mafia. The storm is not over yet. Like I said, I just have a slightly different forecast when it comes to Star Wars on it, but it's certainly a storm. There's a lot to navigate. Thank you so much, Anthony, for that $9.99 bomb. Fabio, before we go to Lael, let's go to you. Your impressions. I was kind of like, hey, I thought it was going to come out, and then they come out with freaking Crow Plater Mandalorian when you got the other Mandalorian, basically the same thing that doesn't have the head sculpt.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Exactly what Will said. We talked about earlier. They're coming out. You're ordering a figure, and then they release another one, pretty much either like it or better than what you just paid for. That's like a slap in the face. You know what I mean? And it sucks. But I feel like this is why they're holding on to so much stock. You know, talking about Sideshow, because people are noticing this. They're like, "What the hell's going on with this? Why am I paying for a figure?" They're announcing a figure. Boom, you pre-order it. A few weeks later, there's another one better than it. It's like, what do? You know what I mean? So I feel like they're doing it to make money. You know, they're smart in that way, but it's affecting the collectors because not everybody gets that, you know, every figure that comes out. You know what I mean?
No,
so
and yeah.
No, that was it. So I feel like that's what's going on with them.
And I agree with that, Fabio. And with 106 in here going to Lael, I was thinking like, okay, I don't want the best card deluxe anymore. I just want to kind of wait for this chrome plated one because it has everything really that I want in it. What was your take? I was kind of surprised by the move Hot Toy made on this, but then not surprised. Oh, Lael, you're muted. Are you muted?
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I had gotten my Beskar Mando in, you know, a few weeks actually before they even made this announcement. So I'd already had it in, you know, and in hand, and I loved it. You know, don't get me wrong, it was the Beskar Mando with the Grogu, you know, deluxe, whatever you want to call it. And it was, you know, it's definitely a good piece. But then I saw this and I was like, man, like, it was sort of like a slap in the face. Here's the thing. Even if they would have actually just gave me the Beskar Mando with the, you know, now mind you, they should have released it with an accessory pack. There should have been like a separate accessory pack for those who actually already have, you know, the Beskar. It would have been an accessory pack giving us the new pad, like the new armor, you know, for his thigh. If they would have gave us something like that, you know, I think it would have been a bit more reasonable for people to understand. But at the same time, understanding that Hot Toys has to make money, they figure that they have to make money no matter how underhanded it may be. But it was a slight slap in the face because it was like, you know what, people, and then for those who hadn't even and were still waiting on that Beskar armor and hadn't received it, it was just like, yo, like, are you really doing this now? And I think it was timing. If they would have waited a few months to do it, then it would have probably made more sense. But they were doing it around the time that it was so much of an influx of individuals that were still waiting on it. So, I mean, it is what it is. As much as I don't want to get this figure, like I really don't, because I'm trying to go against the status quo and I'm kind of pissed about it. I'm like, I don't know if there's another way. Now, granted, you know, Moff Gideon, and I do actually have that one, you know, once that's released, I'll have that. He does come with the dark saber. But at the same time, you still have to get the spear. You still have to actually get the, you know, the upgraded armor. Like, there's so much that you have to actually get, you know, that you can only get with this figure. So it's like, man, like, as much as I want to stick to my guns and say I don't want to get it, it's just like they're forcing you. Like, you have to get it. You don't have a choice.
They are forcing you. That's a great point.
You know, like you don't have a choice unless like, you know, some of these. Now the thing is, I did see like, you know, some third parties or some other companies that do customs, they were selling it, but they were just jacking up the price for it. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to pay for something that, you know, I might as well pay for a brand new figure to get that. So, you know what I mean? Nah. So, I mean, it just depends on how you want to do it. Unfortunately, you know, with a level of reluctancy, I have to get it just to actually get the head sculpt, because I do want to actually have the head sculpt to put on that tank trooper. Like, I mean, there's so many different things that I want to do. That you don't have a choice, you know, but it is what it is.
I'm right with you on that, Lael. Those are great points. And all right, we're going to get to number 7 now. Number 7 is going to encompass about 5 figures, and you'll see why, because they're all kind of in the same boat. But really, I looked at this, and I'm like, are you kidding me this year with this? It's not necessarily what I wanted, but I'm like, okay, so there's a couple of things that made me spill my coffee with this. One is the price point. I talked about it in one of my shows last week, because I think that this is outrageous at $315. And look, And I can get the Snowspeeder Pilot Luke we were talking about yesterday, 40th anniversary packaging, for $265. But anyway, I was like, wow, I did not see this coming, especially because I don't think they're going to sell really well. Right, and I'm going to pull this up. Let me keep going. I'm going to go to Fabio. You first with this one. Try to mix everybody up over here. This also goes with this, because I was actually predicting this, and I was predicting this back in March and April, and I was like, oh no, they'll never come out with this character. I'm like, look, I'm getting a feeling they're going to come out with a lot of these. But then they come out with the blurred with this, and this is also number 7, so 7/7. This, I'm like, what are you doing?
When I see the blurg, all I think about is Tauntaun, and I have a feeling that if they're going this way, we're getting a Tauntaun at some point.
Look, if they do that, I keep going to the wrong screen and blocking Will out. Let me go to this one. I am on top of it, Will. I do notice it in a few seconds.
Oh, no worries.
You said the right thing, Fabio. Continue with Tauntaun, because that makes me spill my coffee.
Well, yeah, no. So, like I said, when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, there's a chance that we get a Tauntaun, because again, if they're going for this look with the animal, with the vehicle, whatever you want to call it, Tauntaun is next, 100%.
Dante, your thoughts on? And we're still going to be at 7. I still got 2 more because it kind of fits in. But go ahead on this blurg, Quill with the blurg, and OG Mando with the blurg.
Yeah, those two you will not see a high quantity of pre-orders, so that's gonna be really low stock. There's gonna be maybe 1 batch and that's it, maybe 2 batches and that's it. Especially the blurg, that one is gonna be a freaking grail. I'm telling you. As soon as the final version comes out and people start seeing the figure or the kind of like a diorama type of thing, it is a really good detailed piece. And Hot Toys doesn't do monsters like this as often, so that even better. So it's gonna be definitely for me. It's gonna be a grail. I'm gonna get this one absolutely. I'm still debating whether I'm gonna get the 2-pack with Mando or I'm gonna get it with Quell. Most likely it's gonna be with Quell because I already have OG Mando, so it will not make sense for me to have doubles of the same one, right? Same, figure pretty much. So yeah, definitely this is gonna be one of my, favorites for sure.
Well, they suckered me in with this baby because I wasn't like, I'm gonna get Quill. But now, the last couple of months, I'm like, look, if I'm going to get Quill, I'm going to get Quill and the blurg. And man, they're just making me buy it. And I've got a curio where I can put it in. I've got a spot where it works, but I kind of want that. But yeah, you know what's funny about this, Lael? You have OG Mando and the blurg, Quill by itself, and the blurg all behind both Jet Troopers right now. They're just not selling. Quill and the blurg is slightly above it. That's above the Jet Troopers. That one's doing okay, but these are just not moving.
I mean, I like I said, I wanted Quill off the back because it was just it just made sense. OG was basically from the saga itself. It was an interesting character, one that I still feel should not have died off in season 1. It should have still been around. He was so much of an important character and could have been useful, going through. So I would have loved to see that character last a bit longer. The blurg, I knew that if they were releasing Quill, then we were going to get that blurg. So, again, I agree. Like it's going to be a low stock, but it's a no-brainer for for people to get it, especially if, you're going to actually get Quill. Also, I'm not getting the there's no reason for me to actually get another Dorstil Mando because I already have one. So I'll just rock with that one. The thing is, though, is it's like, are people going to get 2 blurgs? Or are they going to get 1? What's going to be the reason, for them to get it? You said you're getting 3. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, the thing is, if I get, like I said, for me, it'll probably just be 1, and that's just actually kind of a companion piece next to Quill. You know what I mean? Because I just look, even though we've seen Mando on one, it wasn't something like you can associate the blurgs, more so with Quill than you can with Mando. But I don't know. Like I said, who knows? I guess we have to basically see the finished product, the production product, to really tell. But right now, I mean, I'm just sticking with just one, and on top of that, just getting one, and also getting Quill. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you need 3 blurgs in Fabio land, so I totally get that, Fobs. You need it. Look, Will, Maximum Rex says, if blurg doesn't sell well, will they do a Tauntaun? Do we need a Dear Howard moment on here? Listen,
We might.
I don't think there'll be any trouble selling a Tauntaun. Empire Strikes Back. There's just something about it. It would move. But, Will, I was blown away by this, and I really expected them to be low. And honestly, even when these are first announced, usually even Star Wars Hot Toys, you could get them in the top 5. Even some of them go to number 1 for like a second. These didn't even crack like the top 15. I mean, and they just went down from there.
Right. And Aries, to me, the biggest thing I think with these creatures is not necessarily the price, but the space. I think for a lot of people, that's really what it boils down to. So, anytime you're looking at space and you're being selective about what you can get and what you can put in your display, most people tend to go for like actual characters rather than like a creature, for example. I feel like anyway, that's speculation. I mean, none of us ever know Hot Toys sales numbers, so it's hard to say. But just from what I've seen, at least, it makes sense. But it's a great looking piece. It really is. And I get what you're saying too about the price at $315. I mean, yeah, it is a big piece, though. I mean, it is a big piece, and it is a creature, so it kind of makes sense to me. I don't think it's like outrageous or crazy or anything, but I do think it's I don't know if a lot of people are going to get it, and it could affect a Tauntaun sale, but at the same time, it's pretty cool. So for the people who are getting it, I think you're going to be able to build a really cool display, like Lael said and Fabio. If you are getting Quill or you're getting Durasteel Mando that you can put with it, right? Then you really got, and for the people who missed out on Durasteel Mando for whatever reason, you got a second chance, right? So I think, I think it's a really cool piece. It's really detailed, like Dante was saying, and I like the fact that they're giving options. You can get it by itself, you can get it with Quill, you can get it with Mando. So I mean, it's a cool looking piece. I mean, I'm just looking at it now. It is 14.5 inches tall, 23 inches wide. So I mean, it's pretty big. It's pretty big. So, for, 315, it's not too bad. It's not for me. I'm not getting it just because I don't really care about the blurg, but if it was, but it's cool nonetheless. And Tauntaun would be pretty cool too. I think that probably wouldn't be for me either, but for a lot of people it would. So that'd be really cool.
No, Will, you do bring up a good point. That is a good perspective, that the size of it could be the price, the amount of material. So, I totally,
and a new body,
get
so
that.
to speak, like
Yeah.
they got to create, it's a new.
So in fairness to them, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Every time I put in here about Tauntaun for me, every time I bring that up, Dante talking about, what about the frog lady? Look, it's a buy. Come on, are you kidding? But I want C-3PO first, and I want Mace, and I want Batman. Anyway, don't get me going.
Dear Howard.
All right, so this is staying in number 7 because they reissued the OG Mandalorian when the OG Mandalorian came out, and that if you want the OG Mandalorian, now you've got to get the blurg in order to be able to get that figure, although it's very affordable, that figure within the secondary market. So don't do that, please. That one is, you can absolutely get it at retail easy for now. Won't be forever. But I'm putting this, and this is actually not a Star Wars hot toy, but it was a coffee spilling moment for me. And I am going to go to stay with Will and go first with you on this. This stays within that at number 7 with these. They just came out with this figure, just like they just came out with the OG Mandalorian and some of the other ones we talked about, and then people bought it. And now it's like, well, wow, now you're coming out with almost the same figure. And go to the other screen. My bad again.
Oh, no worries. Just hiding my face.
So I don't know. For me, this and I and I'm pulling this up on the screen too, so you guys can tell me your thoughts on this or if I'm off. I thought this was a coffee spilling moment. It was something that I wasn't necessarily expecting, especially with the cartage, and you get the head sculpt. You could pick that up. It'll go with the one you just bought. And by the way, here's this figure. What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. This is a really good example, Aries. By the way, I know Lael's excited because his is on the way. Lael, mine shipped today too. So I'm excited. I paid my invoice and it shipped. If it didn't ship today, it'll ship Monday. So I'm really excited. I got the first version, Aries. So this was an interesting one. And I think this is a really good, sort of example case study type situation because it kind of happens similar to Beskar Mando. because, you know, the original Venom started to ship now and they dropped this one. I think there's a difference because, for one, the first Venom it sold out very quickly in the States, right? Like, it was waitlisted. A lot of people didn't have the opportunity to get it. Two, I think basically the only difference really is the head sculpt and a pipe. So it's not like you're really getting a superior figure. You're getting the third sculpt anyway, probably for most people who are getting Carnage. So it's not like you're getting some inferior product with the first one that you're just gonna miss out on the second one and you got screwed. This was different. This was actually done better by Hot Toys because this is one where you're getting that third head sculpt, but if you're getting Carnage anyway, it doesn't really matter. So it's the same exact figure. All the accessories are pretty much the same, besides like a few that are pretty much irrelevant, right? They don't really matter all that much. But yeah, it's a great figure. I was a little surprised at the timing too, but nonetheless, I think it's a great release by Hot Toys because it's giving people another chance to get it. And for people who don't want Carnage but do want that third head sculpt with the half face, half Venom, this is great. You have that option now. So I think this is Hot Toys. Maybe they do listen to streams or whatever and say, like, okay, maybe we can do this a little bit more thoughtfully and respectfully of collectors. And that's what they did here. So I'm very happy about this. I'm keeping my first one because I'm getting Carnage anyway. I already paid him off.
Yeah.
So I'm getting Carnage anyway, so I'm sticking with the first one. But I think this is great for people.
No, absolutely. Dante, let's go to you real quick on this next. This I kind of grouped, a bunch of these, so many blurgs and this point with this and in my number 7. Was this a surprise to you that they did this or no?
Number 7. No, I was actually.
Look at the Venom.
I don't. Right? Look at Venom. It was released. Will you buy it or?
$440 on Sideshow.
So this one here, I was probably one of the few that totally missed it. I honestly didn't think that they're gonna issue do a 2.0. When I saw Carnage with the head sculpt, I was thinking, okay, so that makes perfect sense now. I don't think it's gonna be a point to do another one because what are they gonna do? Add a head sculpt? That's exactly what they did. Do another one with a head sculpt with a pipe.
That's funny.
So it is funny. So it is good for people that miss out on the first version. So if you miss out on that particular one, then obviously this is gonna be your go-to. You have to get this one, right? If you want to complete the line. If not, then you don't have to. I really hope that they correct the issues with the rubber, the on the legs. I didn't have that problem, to be honest with you, because you need to pull the leg a little bit down to do the articulation. So I didn't have that problem. Again, it's just me. Maybe other people. I know people had problems with this, but I think this was a really good call for people who missed the first release. And we were talking about this earlier, and Fabio said it, that Venom was very anticipated in the US, so that's why it sold quicker. And I kind of feel bad for people who bought this figure for $700 and then this thing was announced.
Oh man, yeah, it's
my condolences for that, because it's really horrible,
Yeah.
and just imagine the people who bought the Iron Man Mark 47 for almost $1,000 and then the next day, hey, we have a reissue.
Don't
Yeah.
sorry guys.
So-
Don't do that stuff.
They do this stuff.
It's gonna
yeah.
backfire.
But the way Hot Toys is doing business right now is to me is smart, right? They see what's going on in the secondary market. They see what figures are getting pricey, and they say, you know what, let's do this now. And they're gonna reissue or do a 2.0. They can, like what happened with Catwoman, for example, right? It's not a reissue; it's a 2.0 because he has a better head sculpt, better paint application. We have a nicer display base, So that's what they're doing, and I think this is something that I welcome rather than just a plain reissue. Look what happened with Marty McFly, for example. They added Einstein. That's perfect. It's a 2.0. It's not like a reissue. Even though the figure looks the same, head sculpt was improved with today's technology. So I kind of welcome this, and I can wait to get this head sculpt actually.
Lael, great points, Dante. And Lael, let's go to you. I mean, I had to, I get involved in a lot of shows and all involved in Hot Toys, and this was interesting to me, and that's why it made my list.
Yeah, I'm so happy that, like I said, mine is on its way. It'll be here. It actually shipped. It should be here in probably either Monday or Tuesday. So I'm so happy about that. I can't wait to get it in hand. And the thing is, it's like, I don't think this is it's definitely, like, I agree with Will. It's not a bad release for Hot Toys. It's like you're capitalizing on the simple fact that, look, No Way Home is coming Thursday. You know, if you believe a lot of the rumors and some of the things to be true, we're definitely going to see him in that film. So it's a no-brainer. Whether or not we actually see him get the Spidey logo is another thing. We'll actually go down that road. But no, it's an amazing piece. I'm so glad that I'll have him in hand. And like Will, I actually have Carnage as well. So there's no reason for me to actually go ahead and get this one. The only reason I'd probably actually get this one is for the pipe. And why would I do that? Because the Carnage is actually going to come with the head sculpt. Now, that's only if for some reason there's a difference between that one and the one that we're going to receive, the one that, people are going to actually get with this one, which I don't believe it is, and, quite frankly, I really don't care. Like, I'm going to have the first version. I'll be happy with that. Completely fine with it. But yeah, I think this was basically a smart release, because even I don't think Hot Toys anticipated that it was going to sell out as quickly as it did. That thing went quick. Mm-hmm. Like, it was a quick, as even with, like, I think Sideshow, it was a release and then straight to Waitlist for a second. Like, it was just that quick. And see, the thing is, I got mine through Underground Toys, luckily enough, who they were waiting on getting their batch from, Sideshow, which they did get. And that's how I got my hands on it. So I'm, my man Ray, I was so happy about that. But this piece, definitely a no-brainer. And for anyone who's actually has it on pre-order and is going to get it, congrats. You're going to have a piece that you probably thought that you would never actually get in hand and never see. And it's brilliantly done. And like, judging on what we'll see in the film, like, even with my fiance, she's in the chat, she said, although I'm not a big Venom fan, I do like the first figure. So yeah, definitely. We're gonna have it this week, baby.
Oh,
so there you go. It'll definitely be in there. So I mean, I'm super. I mean, and it's coming at a great time, considering the simple fact that the film comes out. I think I'm with Fab. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Like, I've grown up with him. I remember the original television show back in the late 70s, early 80s. I've always been, like, it was one of the first comics that I actually ever collected. So, of course, it's a no-brainer to support. So both me and Will have it. We're extremely excited. And for everybody who's actually going to get their hands on the second version, you'll be excited too. So it's a good time, man. Like, I think it's basically well worth number 7. Like, this is a phenomenal.
Everybody wins.
Yeah, everybody wins. There's a no-brainer with that.
Hot Toys makes money. We all get it.
I feel like if they make the second version, they're gonna fix any issues that the first one had. So
yeah,
the second set is actually gonna be, if they decide to fix whatever, it's gonna be so much better.
So.
Wasn't there some rumors? I guess people were, or not rumors, but a lot of people were talking about that they were having problems with flaking and stuff like that. Like, some people said,
I heard
like
that too.
Do you have this? Do you have this figure?
I have it. I have no issues with it whatsoever. I got it about 3 weeks ago. It's been sitting in the detail shelf. No issues at all. No
flaking, no nothing. See, that's nothing what I'm hoping. Like, I mean, the thing is, I've never, again, like we talked about yesterday, I've never had problems with any. There's only one figure that I've had problems with flaking, and that was just the jacket for Wanda from Age of Ultron. But other than that, I haven't had flaking on any other figures. So yeah, I mean, I'm super uber excited about this, and hopefully everybody else will be too. Fellas, I got to dip out though.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that your private
I got to
chat.
go. Yeah, me and the lady, we're gonna go see West Side Story. I mean, I can't wait to see this film, bro. I love it, but I love the original. So we're gonna actually go have some tea at the local Starbucks here, and then we're gonna shoot over and go see it. But man, I'm excited. This show was so dope. Tonight was so dope. Like, just the conversations I came in on was incredible, man. Like, I can't wait to be back again.
We're looking forward to having you back again.
Yes,
for sure.
Fab. I mean, Dante, all you guys are welcome on, me and Will's show. Anytime y'all want to come on, just let me know, man. Like, you're there. Like, I love this community. I love basically how we come together and have these discussions about toys, because God knows I can't walk outside and talk to my neighbor about it. They see the boxes in front of my house and they're like, what the hell? Another toy? I'm like, yo, it's not just an action figure, bro.
I know, bro.
This is a way of life. Stop saying that. But yeah, no, I'm happy. Everybody in chat, peace and love to everybody. Continue. If you haven't hit the like on this channel, do it right now. Support Six Scale Cantina, man. Come on, man. This is where it's at. We get the marketplace. We get my man Aries. We get the Wizard. We get Fab. We get Dante with the forbidden voice. We get my man Will. What more can you ask for? Come on, baby. Hit that like button right now and let's go.
Come
Peace
on.
and love, man. I love you guys, man.
Take care, man.
Good night, man.
I'll talk to you
Lael,
later.
Lael,
Peace.
that's
Okay.
awesome. And while Lael's going ahead and signing out, listen, we got 107 in here. Please make sure to subscribe to SixthScaleMan. He's in the video link is in the video description below. Are you kidding me? So listen, he's got me a
Dante
little
and
bit
I are
hyped
hold on.
up.
Sorry. There we go. I had to figure out which way. I was going.
Do it again.
There we go. Hey.
All right, so listen, guys, we're
Just took
going to
a
go
couple
to my
tries.
number 6 figure, and I feel like there's something going wrong though as I go to my number 6 figure. I feel
Number
like someone's
6.
trying to get into my computer again. I hope is this the Hot Toys Wizard? I feel like someone's going to join us. Let me just put this on and see. Well, let's see what this is.
Oh my God.
This is an emergency interruption from the Hot Toys Wizard. And unless you're just a freaking moron, you can clearly see that I am not morphed into the appearance this time of Julia Roberts. Rather, I have taken the appearance of Clone Trooper TK FOMO. That's right, Clone Trooper TK FOMO. And you have to wonder, will Hot Toys officially announce Clone Trooper TK FOMO? How about Clone Trooper TK NRD? How about Clone Trooper TK There's Too Many? How about Clone Trooper TK Where's My Wallet? How about Clone Trooper TK I Need More Money? How about Clone Trooper TK I Need Another Credit Card? How about Clone Trooper TK I Need 3 jobs? And I say yes, because look, they officially announced Clone Trooper Jesse and Clone Trooper Jesse and Vaughn were number 1 and number 2 and ahead of Spider-Man for 2 weeks. This is an outrage. It's outrageous. That means they're going to be coming out with clones at the wazoo. Will it be 1 clone, 2 clones, 3 clones, 4 clones, 5 clones, 6 clones, 7 clones, 8 clones, 9 clones, 10 clones, 11 clones, 12 clones? Are you kidding me? It's too many. And there's a storm. Maybe 13, maybe 14, maybe 15, maybe 16. Outrageous. I don't always mic offer you out, but when I do, I buy from Aries at 6 Scale Cantina, but I add my own wizard sugar. Take it easy.
That was amazing.
Wow. The budget went way up, Aries. Like I
That
said,
was-
comment in the chat, the production quality, dude.
That was amazing.
Bravo. Hold on. Bravo.
Yay! Always love it when the Hot Toys Wizard drops by. Look, I guess what he's trying to say is, and I guess he must have known, Will, what my next surprise was going to be. And I'm going to mix this in because this is number 6 for me. And let me make sure that this could come up. Look,
Oh.
it came, this and Vaughn, and I guess the Wizard, props to you, Wizard, whoever you are. I'm glad you weren't, I was enough Julia Roberts, okay, and enough with your regular Wizard, and so it was nice to see you as this Clone Trooper, TK FOMO, I think he called himself. Who knows what he'll be next? But this is true. I was kind of like, oh my goodness, Jesse, Vaughn. They're like, this told me, Will, oh my goodness gracious, I think the Hot Toys Wizard is right. They're probably going to come out with every single rendition of a clone. We've got Mustard Trooper, Ketchup Trooper, Porcelain Trooper, Bronze Trooper, Ketchup Trooper, Mayonnaise Trooper. Come on.
Relish Trooper. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
that's nice.
This was completely a coffee spiller for me. And honestly, this did shock me.
Yeah, see, it's interesting, Aries. As someone sitting on the outside looking in at this, I feel like they're going to make every clone trooper, like you mentioned, because they're popular. I mean, people buy them. So, I mean, and people go crazy for them. So, and you have the same head sculpt. You're just reusing it in, unique ways each time. This is like drug dealer Tamora Morrison. This is like face tattoo, full on drug dealer, space drug dealer Tamora Morrison is a clone trooper. Like that dude, honestly, Tamora Morrison, he's got to be so thrilled because he signed the best deal of all time, because every merchandising thing with his head sculpt has to be signed and approved by him, and he's on like every figure. So he's got to be making bank off this. So bravo to you, Tamora Morrison. You obviously did something right. But seriously, yeah, this figure is great. I really do like the look of it. It's not one for me just because I don't know too much about, Clone Wars. I haven't really watched enough of it, but it's a great looking figure. I really love the blue in the suit. The contrast with the white looks really great. And this is a really cool face sculpt. I mean, you get a head sculpt with a tattoo on there. That's pretty intricate and cool looking. So I really like this. This is a unique looking figure. It's a unique looking clone trooper. So for me, I love also all the troopers with a shoulder pauldron. I really like that. Like, it just has a cool dynamic look to him with the pouches. It reminds me of kind of like a blue Death Trooper. Yeah. It reminds me that's why I like the Death Trooper Specialist a lot, because he has that shoulder pauldron, he has like the pouches and all that. And this kind of reminds me of that. So if I maybe watch Clone Wars and start getting into it, I could see this being a figure I get because I really like the aesthetics of it. I really like the look of the figure. So this is I really do like this a lot. And I think it would fit in really well with a Star Wars display. So right now I have no connection to the character, so I wouldn't get it, but it definitely tempts me if I do get into Clone Wars.
And even though
it's who's Jesse? Go ahead, Fabio.
No, I was gonna say even though obviously it's the same head sculpt, the same faces. The way they use them though, they break up the monotony of the same exact thing and give it a different look, a nicer look. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyway,
Pennywise?
they just no, they just make them they just make them look interesting, and they're cool. So I wouldn't mind if they make 6, 7 of them. Yeah, it's gonna be the same head, but I guarantee you they're all going to look different, and that's what makes them really cool.
Yeah, and I like that seal of approval in the head. So that actually looks really good.
That's Howard's stamp. He just stamped it.
Yeah, and let me tell you this. Again, I'm watching Clone Troopers season 1. Yes, I know I'm very far behind, but those troopers are badass, man. I'm telling you, these guys, the commanders, the captains, and whatever. They look awesome, man. Different colors. Some of them are blue, red, green, white, or gray. I mean, they're awesome. So this is a nice figure to have in your collection for sure.
Yeah, no, I was kind of blown away by this, guys. And before we continue with this, and I'm looping in Vaughn with this, thank you all so much in the chat for all your comments on that video, and thanks for saying everybody in here will mentioning that to the production value. Look, I try. We like to have a lot of fun in here, and I'm glad you're all enjoying it. It's what it's all about, and absolutely. So thank you all in here, and thank you all for watching. And don't forget to subscribe, because before we go ahead and go on to number 5, I will tell you that we're only, at least last time that I checked, 136 subscribers away from hitting 2,000 that I just, started in February. So I want to thank you all very much. But I'm going to be giving away a free brand new Hot Toys figure in honor of that. And probably when we get up to about like 1,950, we'll go ahead and run the contest. But you have to be subscribed. But my friend Ray at Hawk Wars Toys, and I use his data sometimes, and he's really good. I bought off him. He's going to sponsor this giveaway for us, for me. So really appreciate that. And you're going to be able to choose from, look, if you win, you can get a 501st regular. You can get a Lando from Empire Strikes Back. You can get a Coruscant Guard. And you can get, I forgot what the other one is. I'm kind of missing it there, but I'm going to get the pictures up. But you're going to have a selection of 4 that you'd be able to choose from when you win, and you'll get a brand new. But the stipulation is you're going to have to subscribe, and you'll have to comment on whatever video I put in there. But thank you all so much. I appreciate it. But I think they're going to come out with a lot of clones, guys. And let me go to number 5, because this, I don't know. This was certainly my number 1 moment, but in terms of Hot Toys, I'm going to put this at number 5 because there was a lot where we didn't think. I know we talked about it a lot, Dante, where we didn't. This wasn't going to come out till maybe this time of the year, maybe not till next year. And I think for me, because, okay, I really thought it was going to come out, and I wanted it to come out for the May 4th weekend, and I thought that Hot Toys blew it, not coming out with this on the May 4th weekend. And then all of a sudden they come out with this. And I think it's a combination for me of the moment in the Mandalorian season 2 and the fact of I knew this was coming, and I wanted it to come now, but was thinking it wasn't going to be till 2022. And I'm like, I get to relive this moment. You remember that live and Raw we did, Dante? I was just like losing it. So I had to put this in my top 10. And so it was just, I don't know if it was a surprise. I think it was for a lot of people a surprise, but it was certainly just, I was just like, I think the head sculpt is right on to the deep fake look. I think it's perfect. But does this make your top 10 for this year? Surprises.
Well, this is a number 5.
Nah.
If this figure is not good, I don't know what is. I'm telling you, you call this one. I'm very happy to see a new Luke Skywalker, especially the one from the Mandalorian, because that last scene from the season 2 was amazing. So this is definitely a must-have for me. Love the diorama, and that's something that we actually spoke about this. That it will be awesome if they can include some type of battle damage dark trooper with the figure, and they did. So thanks Howard Chan for listening to us. So that's a good thing. Yes, a lot of people talking about the head sculpt, the controversy. Oh, this looks like Ken from Toy Story, and this one looks like that. Whatever, it is what it is, right? This is a CGI look. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I think there's going to be an improvement. I don't think this is going to be the last version in terms of the head sculpt. I think it's going to be revised. I think it's going to be improved. So I can wait. Definitely top 5. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Will, let's go to you on this. For me, I did a live and Raw. I had to adjust my schedule that day. I woke up on a Monday morning and I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm talking about like spilling my coffee and everything. I was going nuts. I feel like they tried to really just emulate this from, like Dante was saying, from the scene. It's the CGI version, but man, they captured the moment for me, Will, and that's what I wanted. Hot Toys released the moment.
Yeah, I totally agree, and this is really good for those type of collectors who really want to recreate moments, right? I think that's a big part of really collecting for a lot of people, recreating diorama scenes, recreating poses that make you recapture the feeling you had during that moment, that scene. I think that's really the biggest thing with these type of figures. So that's why I do it. Most of us do it for nostalgia purposes. And like Dante said, this is one of the best scenes in Star Wars history, no doubt about it. Yes. I mean, literally, if you go up on YouTube and watch all the reactions of people like Star Wars Theory and everyone else that watch this scene and just watch their very honest, visceral reaction to the scene, it goes to show you like how important it was for so many people. And even for me, like I actually was watching it at work, actually, like it was a little bit slow, and I watched it and I was like, man, this is like, I was getting goosebumps. I was like, this is crazy. This is the craziest shit. Like, and this figure, when it was announced, I was definitely a little bit surprised that it was this early. I knew it was going to come eventually, but I actually had the Endor Luke Deluxe figure, Aries, and I sold it because when that Mando scene was coming around, I was like, I have a pretty good suspicion that they're probably going to release a Luke Mando, which they did. And then I ended up selling that one for like $450, like twice what I paid. So I always like to cash in when I know there's something coming along the pipeline that's better, right? At least in my opinion. Sure. I have this already paid off in full already. I got the deluxe exclusive, the deluxe version. This is like one of those weird ones. But
so you got the Death Trooper. You got this one.
I got the Dark Trooper. Yeah, I got the Dark Trooper in there because the battle damage Dark Trooper to me was like a must. Because honestly, the pose that they have him in on the thing, with the holding the lightsaber in his left hand and his fist up and the Dark Trooper behind him, I think that's probably what I'm going to recreate. I'm probably just going to put him in that. And that Death Trooper, or that Dark Trooper rather, is so worth it. I think it's a great accessory. I'd be happy to pay the $50 for it. I think it's a really cool accessory.
Oh, and it lights up, I think, too.
Yeah, it does, exactly. It's worth it, man. It's totally worth it. And that's what I might actually use the batteries for. So yeah, this is gonna be the only Luke I have. I actually don't have a Luke right now because I'm waiting for this one to come out. So I'm gonna stick with this one for now. If there's another one that grabs my if they reissue a Bespin Luke, I'll get that one. But other than that, this is a spill your coffee type figure. I think like Dante always says, it's a grail. I mean, I really think this is like gonna be the Luke Skywalker for now until we get another one that's better. But it's gonna be the one for now.
Go ahead, Fab.
What I'm looking forward to this figure is the posing that people are going to do with this figure. It's going to be insane. I don't pose my figures ever. I just don't like to. But I love seeing people posing. And if Iron Logan gets this figure, it's going to be, I can't wait to watch his videos.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So Fabio, was this something that would make your top 10 as far as coffee spilling moments,
Oh,
surprises for 2021?
absolutely. Number one, nobody expected that to even happen on the show. Nobody expected him to ever appear on the show. The fact that he came out was like mind blowing to everybody. And then to get the figure on top of it, it's like, oh my god, what the hell's going on? So yeah, absolutely. That this is like a must have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're going to go into the number 4 over here. We're going to try and go through them. But let's go ahead and thank you so much, Philly Sports Talk, with the $10 Bob. Thank you so much. When will Hot Toys announce a C3PO? And I say 2022. Look, I really believe that that's coming out next year. My opinion on this whole subject is I think that they've teased 2 of them. I don't think that there's a licensing issue at all, because you can't make a prototype, a company like Hot Toys doing that and then get in trouble with that kind of thing. They had their ducks in a row. I think that even Hasbro, they wanted to walk away from Star Wars for a minute, stop producing a lot of stuff. And I think that C3PO wasn't on the forefront of their mind. And I think COVID happened. And I think that they're kind of all coming out now. And I think that this figure's coming next year. You guys, real quick, if you want to speak on this real quick before I get to number 4, shoot.
Yeah, I think he's coming eventually, but I'm starting to lose hope, Aries, just because it's been so long. They haven't announced him. It's probably the most peculiar figure that has never been released, in my opinion. So for me, I hope in 2022. I'm cautiously optimistic, but my logical side tells me no, because there's got to be a reason we don't know about. So
Yeah, it's the craziest thing, because for them they'll make a figure and they'll reissue a figure, but the fact that they've never made this one, very weird, very weird.
it's the weirdest.
Definitely.
I think next year. I think
You
next
say
year.
next year.
I think
I'd
next
love
year.
it. I mean,
Because-
that's what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is time. I think we're waiting long enough for this crap. And don't worry, we're gonna talk about this next Friday, dear Howard Chan.
All right,
We
let's go
need
to
to.
number 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here's number 4 for me. And this may be a shock to all of you, but I'm going to go ahead and go to Fabio first on this. And I'm pulling up an auction, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. What happened here in 2021 is the Dark Side Anakin went off the charts, baby. And it actually breached the $800 tier range and was selling more than the Tarkin Invader 2-pack at one point, and was neck and neck with Han and Chewbacca. Are you kidding me? Now, as this whole year went, of course, it dipped down a little bit in recent time, a few months, and it went to the $600 tier range, as if that's cheap. But then now it is trending back, and I believe it just hit, and I have to update the market value charts at $693 back over. It's a $700 tier range, so a spoiler alert on what's coming up. But this was very interesting to me, Fabio. This was a coffee spilling surprise this year for this figure to be selling at 2-pack level.
Well, like we talked about earlier, when this figure came out, nobody wanted it. It was sitting there, and then all of a sudden, boom, blew up. You can't get near it right now. How did that happen? I have no idea. But the one thing that I do know is whoever has this figure is not letting it go, because now we have the Obi-Wan show coming, and he's going to be on. There's no way anybody's getting rid of this figure ever.
Yeah, Dante, going to you. Was this surprising to you this year?
The price, the increase in
Yeah.
price, yeah, of course, because it is a unique piece, right? The base is beautiful. The figure itself is really nice. Technically, it's Darth Vader, not Dark Side Anakin. But
Right.
I think with the Obi-Wan show, there is a possibility that we're gonna see not a reissue, but maybe a 2.0 version of this. So if you miss it, I think you just wait. I think you should wait. Don't if you can get this one at a really good price, of course, pull the trigger, right? But if you don't pay $1,000, don't pay $2,000 for this. It's too much. It's too much. But yeah, I was surprised that the price went up like so quick, like boom.
And with you're exactly right, Dante. And that's and with will the clone trooper versions, the stap and without the stap, on pre-order. And I was going to tell Lael earlier, because we were talking about this, I was going to say, hold on, baby, because I do think Dante's right. I do think we're going to get a reissue of sorts, 2.0 without the base. So I know some people have talked about, and I get the point, and I think it's a valid point that, well, they're not going to focus on this figure, but it's just, to me, Will, too high for them not to do something to get recoup money for themselves.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think this figure is definitely getting reissued, and that's what I thought when I sold it. Otherwise, like Fabio mentioned, I wouldn't have sold it because I really do like it, and I do miss the figure because I don't have an Anakin right now, and I really love the figure. But it was just 3 times what I paid for it, and I was like, I need to sell it before they reissue it, get this money, and then wait and then buy the reissue. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I think you guys are right. Maybe there's a flashback in Obi-Wan with Darkside Anakin or something. Maybe, we have a different base, like you mentioned. But other than that, it'll be the same figure or something very similar. I'd even take a regular Anakin at this point. If I can find a regular Anakin, I'd buy one of those. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I think it's going to get reissued. If not, we're going to get something better. We're going to get a 2-pack or something. We'll get a Darkside Anakin 2-pack with a Darth Vader or something. Like maybe a Return of the Sith, Revenge of the Sith Vader. That would be pretty cool with a 2-pack Darkside Anakin. That would be something they do, right?
Yeah.
They could do something like that. So we haven't gotten that Vader before, and now you get a chance at Darkside Anakin. Look at Short Trooper. I mean, he went crazy, and then they made like 3 more of them. So I mean, I think there'll be more Anakins at minimum, but I think they'll make another Darkside Anakin.
Yeah, and if that's going at that price on eBay, forget it. Hot Toys is coming for them.
They already know. Yeah, they see that, and they'll be like, okay, yeah, he's in the works. I think he's definitely getting reissued.
Well, no, I totally agree with everyone's assessment. And we're down to the top 3 before we end here. The top 10 Hot Toys coffee spillers in 2021. So let's get into the juicy stuff to close it out. Number 3 for me. And look, I will preface this that I got a lot of heat on this, that there's no way in the world that this is happening. But I really, really thought that they were going to drop this, and I'm going to bring it up. So definitely a huge surprise, I think, for a lot of people with the comments I was getting. This was not supposed to come out this year, but I really thought this was going to come out this year. And really, is it possible that we're going to get Fennec Shand even before the end of the year at announcement? And I say yes. But Dante, we talked about this, and I know on your show you're like, Aries, look, you hit it. This throne. And again, this is another one of those things where you had Boba Fett 2-pack on the market at the same time. What are they doing competing with themselves? But I actually think it's pretty smart by them when you're really in retrospect.
Right. There are 2 different versions as well, right? The other one is dirtier, rough look, right? With Tamara Morrison's head sculpt and actual figure. This one here is with the throne, with a better paint application, with a black suit underneath. So it is definitely 2 versions of it, slightly different head sculpt. So I actually welcome these things because you want to see different versions of the beloved character, right? And I think it was a good call. I do think Fennec should be announced before the Book of Boba Fett. If, maybe the next couple weeks. Has to be before that because it's gonna spike the sales of this thing.
Yes, I really.
So that will be a really good move if they do that. But yeah, this is definitely solid top 3.
Will, let's go to you. I mean, this was one that was a shocker, and this was one I did a live and raw on. I don't do it with every one of these, but I did with this release.
Yeah. And Aries, I expected this to be announced, but I didn't expect the throne. I didn't think that was actually going to be a thing. It was such a quick shot and such a quick scene. I didn't expect it to really be anything. Maybe I thought maybe some custom makers were going to make the throne. I thought we were going to definitely get this clean version of Boba, but I was a little bit surprised that we got the throne.
The throne, right.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that was the thing. That I was saying is it's going to come with the throne and this and that. And so, yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too. And again, like the figure itself, I'm with you. Like expected, but the throne, unexpected. So, and I'm with you guys too on Fennec. I think she gets announced right around or as the time the show is released. I think she's going to be right around there.
Yeah. Fabio, for you this year, this is number 3 for me.
100%. I would love to see this. I mean, if we get it before the end of the year or before the new year, amazing. This double pack, if they decide to go double pack, ridiculous. Or even just alone with the throne by itself, it's going to be an amazing figure, period.
Yeah, and listen, we're down to the top two, so I'm going to give you my number two one. I probably the number one is it'll make sense once it comes up. But look, I'm going to pull this up because this happened back. Gosh, when did this happen? In March or April? But let me pull it up. This blew everybody away, and everybody was talking about this on the chat. The way that they just there's so much that's a shock. Will, I'm blocking you again. I call myself out.
It's okay.
There's so much that's a shock with this 2-pack release. The fact of the way that the Boba Fett just pops on the armor, the way that they nailed it, the fact that they're giving you a Boba Fett figure, Dante, that you can't get by itself. This is like, and this is up there with me, and I'm going to put it in equal with it. The Nightmare Batman and the Dark Suit Superman. Probably this one a little bit more, but it's really a peculiar move. So if you want the Dark Suit Superman, go ahead and buy the Nightmare Batman, even if you already have it, but you're not going to get Dark Suit Superman. And this is Boba Fett. And, you know, a lot of people, to me, it was just crazy. This was crazy to me. Go.
Yeah, and I said this earlier. I mean, this is how Boba Fett was introduced to us after the Return of the Jedi. So this is the very first, Boba Fett you've seen since then. So this one has a nostalgic attachment already, right? The fact that we see him in the suit, in this really beat up look, and then you have Tamora Morrison's head sculpt with the full body, with the black robes. I mean, this is a no-brainer. This has to be one of the best announcements Hot Toys have done recently. It's a 2-pack. Right there is going to be a rare piece. It's from the Mandalorian, from number one show from Star Wars. So all the ingredients for this to be a future grail. So if you are still on the fence on getting this one, I would definitely suggest to wait for the reviews, wait for until this figure is out, and then make your decision. But if you are a Star Wars fan and you want to collect this particular line, this is definitely a must-have. You cannot pass on this one.
Yeah, and
Sense.
absolutely, Dante. And Fabio, I don't really pre-order anything, but I wait, I get it. But this one I got pre-ordered, baby, because I got a feeling about it.
Yeah, if you don't have any Star Wars figures, should definitely be your first one. This is a must-have, 100%.
Yeah, and I really think Will, with this one, I think the regular Boba Fett is going to be in stock like all the other Boba Fetts, 2-3 months, and it'll go. So it's not that. It's this 2-pack with this price that I don't think they're going to have dead stock on. I don't think they're going to want to be sitting on the price they're even paying for it and try to move these at $4.95. I know with the size of this, Will, they're not going to want to give away free shipping like with that Beskar Deluxe Mandalorian, which they're offering now. And plus, this is not even nowhere near selling because of the price point. Those were a number in the top 4 since they came out until the Chrome Plate of Mandalorian was announced. But yeah, I had to pre-order this 2-pack, Will, because I don't want it to be like a heavy infantry Mando, and they're like, hey, we're done with the production of the Boba Fett and the robes.
Yeah, I got this one in pre-order too. I'm getting this one. I'm not getting the clean one. And the reason for it is because, again, like we talked about with Luke, this scene is one of the best scenes in Star Wars history, I feel. When Boba Fett finally shows up and kicks ass again, you finally get Boba Fett to do something. In Star Wars, we all knew how badass he was. In the original trilogy, he does things here and there, but he never gets his moment to shine like he does in this, right? We're going to get that in the show also. But this weathered version, I just greatly prefer it. I really like the rugged, like beat up. It looks more like war torn battle damaged armor. And the head sculpt on the robe version is fantastic. I almost thought about just getting the standard version at one point, but then I had a retailer post a really good deal on the deluxe version, so I bought that. And yeah, it's a great 2-pack nonetheless. But yeah, for sure, I'm excited to get it. I have Empire Boba, and I'm going to keep this one too. I don't know, I'll probably keep both, but I might end up selling Empire if I really like this one because I don't know how many Bobas I need. But yeah.
Well, listen, we're down to number one. The number one coffee spilling moment in 2021. And I think it's certainly, I think the shock, the audacity that Hot Toys would do this And I remember I would put this out on every single video. This is coming, this is coming, this is coming. Aries, you're out of your mind. You're insane. For me, this was number one because I think that everybody was like, what in the world are you doing coming out with this?
Ooh.
And if you remember when this came out, guys, the story was you got the Clone Wars Ahsoka, and I get it. It's out. There's no way they're going to put this out. They're going to put this out when the series comes out. It's 2023. They're going to wait for the movie. And I'm thinking, listen, guys, gals, I think they want to make money coming out of COVID here. I think they're going to put them both up. I think they're going to lower the production on the Clone Wars Ahsoka that broke the internet. And this came out, and I don't know, but if you guys remember, show after show after show after banner after banner after banner. I think there was one YouTuber who put out a video, and the whole title was Ahsoka, 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 and it was just a play on. That's really what was happening. It was the truth. It was just so much surprise with this. I'm going to go with you, Will, first on this. Your thoughts. To me, this was number one because I think that a lot of people just thought this was no way happening in 2021.
Yeah, it's a really good question, Aries. I more so expected this to happen. I thought it was going to happen. Maybe just again, maybe the timing was a little bit sooner than I thought. But I kind of view Mandalorian as Hot Toys cash cow right now. Because Marvel is definitely not quite as popular as it was with Endgame. So Marvel's a little bit on the downward trajectory, coming back up, but it's getting there. But Star Wars and Mando is so hot right now. Mando has been so hot,
Yes.
especially when it's live. Episodes are showing each week. Mando is incredibly hot, and Ahsoka, pretty much any character that's of relevance in Mando's, even Frog Lady, is probably going to get made. Let's
go, baby.
Yeah, Casca Reeves, Frog Lady, all of them probably getting made at some point. Maybe not Axe Wolves, just because he's maybe not that important, but Ahsoka is. Ahsoka's a very popular fan favorite character. She's great. Rosario Dawson was great. She does some badass shit in her episode. I got this deluxe on pre-order. The only thing I didn't like about it was the fact that you don't get the regular base too. You get only the tree base, which is kind of cool. I feel like maybe you should get both to have the option, but amazing looking figure for sure. I got this one already on pre-order and I can't wait to get it.
Dante, go. This is the last one.
I think this was the worst call. No, not impressed at all. I think this is trash, and I honestly don't know, guys, why you like this.
0 stars.
Not the fact that it's a DX.
Oh man, this when this one was announced, definitely broke the internet. I mean, this is a DX, so the tailoring, you should expect an amazing tailoring on this figure. Head sculpt is gonna be amazing. Per system, Grogu. Don't forget about Grogu Mania. We're gonna have a bunch of Grogus.
Yes.
This is a figure that I can't wait to have in my hands. I mean, again, I'm very biased with the Mandalorian. I love every figure that is out so far. There's no issues whatsoever with the releases, with the announcement. So yeah, this is absolutely best number one. Best figure of 2021 in terms of announcement. So I can't wait.
Listen, I know you got a premiere. I gotta look. I'm glad you moved it to 9. Fabio, real quick on this, so we can end things real quick.
No, I just want to say this figure, I never expected it to be made ever. A lot of people was announced. Everybody's mind was blown. I ordered 3.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah.
In Fabio land.
And then he's complaining, oh my God, I have so many boxes here.
I know. He's
This
going to have
guy.
3.
This guy. No wonder it's out of stock so quick.
The life of a doctor. I don't know how you do it.
I know, right?
Well, listen, this has been a lot of fun, guys. And I actually just looked at the time, and I can't even freaking believe we're at 2 hours and 42 minutes. I usually go just about 2:15, maybe 2.5. I'll spread it out. So I think we were just having a lot of fun. And I certainly wanted to go through that whole list. But real quickly, I will tell everybody, look, please subscribe to everybody that is on here. Willfoxification, Man of Hot Collectibles, Fabsfigs, all within the video description. I'm going to give you guys all 30 seconds to talk about what's going on. Dante, a little longer for you for that premiere that's going to go on right at 9 o'clock. But don't forget to subscribe to 6th Scale Cantina too, because before the recording of this, I'm only 136 subscribers away from getting to 2K subscribers. And once I get to around 1950 or so in celebration of that, I'm going to be giving away a free hot toy. It's going to be that giveaway. The giveaway will be sponsored by Hawk Wars Toys, by Ray from Hawk Wars Toys. You're going to be able to choose between 4 brand new hot toys. I'll put out the list too. I mentioned it earlier in the show, but you'll have to be subscribed to be eligible. So make sure you do that. And don't forget to go follow Ray, Hawk Wars Toys, on Instagram as well. But real quick, 30 seconds, Fabio, what's going on Fabio Land?
Collection tour part 2 coming soon. I'm waiting on my editor for that. Hopefully part 3 coming pretty soon as well. So stay tuned.
Will, what's going on Willfoxification?
Oh, collection tour part 4. I don't know, coming at some point soon. I'm waiting for some statues to come in. Kratos, Sauron, maybe J&D Joker. I don't know if I'll wait that long though, because it's like a couple months. Because people have been asking me about it. We have Collectors Mingle tomorrow. Not sure who's going to be on that panel yet, so I might be reaching out to you guys. We'll see, because I really got to figure that out. And then I'm doing a video essay on Arrival, which is going to be fun. So it's going to be great. I just saw Ghostbusters, by the way, really good. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I really liked it. Afterlife, and other than that, I have Figures and Flicks with Justin. I do Dante show every now and then. Justin's live stream on Tuesday. Spider-Man's coming out Thursday, so that's exciting. I'll probably review that. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm seeing Spider-Man late Saturday night. Dante, look, I'm not going to steal your thunder, but you have the quarter scale Mandalorian in back of you. And you're going to have a premiere on a review, and I absolutely love watching your reviews. So everybody on this chat, you're definitely going to have to go switch on over to check out Dante's video with this. And anybody who's watching this video, after you watch this video, you want to check out the Man of Hot Collectibles review of that gorgeous piece in the background. But Dante, I'm going to go ahead and give you the spotlight. If I can give you the solo layout, tell us what's going to happen in 6 minutes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you everyone for Aries for the invite, guys, in the chat. Nice to see Will. Nice to see Fabio and Lael as always. Yes, we have the 1 quarter scale review of Mandalorian. This guy over here, and let me tell you, this figure is gonna blow your mind. It's really nice. So I actually pulled really nice poses with this one. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat so you guys can switch around. And I have a giveaway going on. So if you go to my Instagram page and Facebook group, you're gonna see the details. However, for this particular video, if you are gonna watch this video and if you are subscribed to my channel and you like the video and you put the comment, "I want more Mandalorian," you are already automatically enrolled for the giveaway, which is gonna be a brand new. You can choose between these 3 options: brand new Rescue, brand new Jet Troopers, the white or the red, or Spider-Man. All brand new hot toys courtesy of Comic Concept. So the keyword for this, you put in the comments, "I want more Mandalorian figures," and you are automatically enrolled for the giveaway. So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and of course, watch the video. I'm gonna put the link in the description. No description, the comments. And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much.
Well, listen, this has been fabulous. It's been a really, really good time. Market Show Live. What a Saturday night. Wow. I don't always buy coffee out, but when I do, I buy from 6th Scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, everybody.
Good night, guys.
See you soon.
See you guys.